Hello and welcome to Black Winter Nights. Trying to remember which game it is. Black Winter Nights here on the D20 Multiverse, where nerds are power. Welcome to everyone that's out there in chat. We've got Leonard and some other regulars, so welcome along to tonight's episode. We are down one Dain, our Paladin, but he will be back next week. He's just doing things that are somehow more important than D&D. I know it's hard to imagine, but there we go. So, announcements. I'm so unprepared for this. Announcements. We'd like to welcome our new followers on Twitch. Thank you guys so much. We've got Megan Britt. I don't know if you're from the UK, but I imagine you are. That's awesome. Hi, how's it going? Zeldak, which
She was the one that was flirting with her.
Oh, hey, how's it going?
She was the one that was flirting in the comments. You know?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
He's just playing it cool, Dave.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just chilling.
Sorry.
I get so many people flirting with me, it's hard to keep track. Hey, that's not funny.
It'll do a call out on the stream, man.
Dude,
Zeldak,
stop lying
yes.
to our viewers.
Welcome along. And of
Hey,
course... Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
He thinks I'm sexy. Mutual, of course.
You just like me for my bear form.
It's true. Gotta love bears. And Tetratrion Dragonus, whose name I just butchered, but thank you so much for joining the channel. We really appreciate it. Welcome to the D20 Multiverse family.
You said
Never get up. So?
Zeldak.
Zeldak.
Yeah, Zeldak.
Zeldak.
Cool.
Yeah, hey Zeldak. How you doing? So,
Sorry, I'm prepared. You having them all ready to go. So
I know, it's crazy. I actually had them written down this time. I'm slowly getting there. Anyway, yes, those are the announcements. We'd like to thank everyone that's been keeping track of our YouTube channel. We just hit 158 subscribers, I think it is. And our most popular view video just went over 1.6 thousand. So thank you guys so much for supporting D20 Multiverse. It's awesome having you guys out there. We made like 23 cents on that video, so I'm retiring to Tahiti next week. But
we made no sense.
Oh, none. Okay.
No, because we can't monetize
Anyway,
until we get to
I
mean nothing.
So
Hey,
I
well,
can't make things up in Davis here.
I sent $1 in, like, I mean...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Roll it. Yeah, thanks guys in chat. Thanks everyone for supporting. Thanks for our new followers. How you doing? And let's jump into tonight's episode of Black Winter Nights. When the party found themselves last called to the Adventurers' Hall by Naya Ashback, the Prince of Blackwinter Castle. However, suspicious circumstance led the party to discover that Naya was in fact one of the escaped vampires from the Temple of the Screaming Scare in Central Cast. The guard, Argon, the right-hand man of King Throm and Ashback, the one that is in charge in his unfortunate demise, had been under quite a very powerful charm spell by Cassandra Maldrak, the elven vampire who was pretending to be Naya. The party was summoned to the Great Hall where they met their new party members who have now decided to follow the adventures. The Kinku, known as
Zeed.
And
It wasn't as dramatic as it should have.
Oh, on the spot, eh?
Yeah.
Kai Underwood.
Kai Underwood.
Oh, it's Kai. I keep forgetting to change that.
Yeah, you
It should say Kai.
again.
However, when Naya appeared to deliver his speech, not only had the Black Winter Knights discovered that their former party member Fate had sold out all their information to this vampiric overlord, but Naya had no intention of letting this group of adventurers survive, and as a fireball erupted and many of the adventurers fell, battle raged in Throman's castle. However, the party, victorious through the final kill shot of the Kinku, known as Zeed, crossbow bolt through the third eye, the vampire himself died and reverted to mist form. They then chased the mist form to the crypts of Blackwinter, where they destroyed the coffin, its resting place, so it could not regenerate itself. Then, in classic Blackwinter style, they all went to the pub to get pissed. And that is where we find ourselves tonight. So, the party, standing in Blackwinter Tavern, the lit hearth, roaring fires, standing above that, a bard, playing lovely little tunes, as the dwarves sing louder and more happily than you've heard before. The party of Throman, the one to commemorate his memory, has now been running for 5 days straight. Shows no signs of slowing whatsoever. Does show signs of slurring, as some of these essentially the barmaid has taken 3 jobs. Pouring continuous ale, which you now see her behind a thing, just elvins and wines and beers, just trying to keep track of it all. Second job, screaming to the halfling in the kitchen, "More chicken!" And out he comes with these comically large plates, and propping and poking people that have fallen asleep at their tables. "Oh, this ale!" and that is where you find yourselves. The roar and cacophony of the tavern is almost impossible to hear each other's voices over. More than one thing on the mind of the parties. What are you guys doing?
Drinking and slurring and spilling booze all over myself. It's a fucking mess.
Should have had a page of bird puns.
I'm brooding in the corner.
You've now got a dwarven, a circle of dwarven king looking people. You're very, very like proper, prim, and well dressed with fine armors and such, and weapons. The hilts of which have dragon bone and that kind of thing inlaid. You notice them immediately, and they're currently singing the old dwarven shanty. We rode and killed the dragon, burnt the town down. We turned and killed the dragon, saved our gracious town. Hey! And obviously very fine ale and such is being sklunked across the glasses as it splatters on the ground nearby. If you'd like to order some more ale, it is all free in Throman's memory.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Excellent. As you approach the bar.
Around you? I think that's a little bit of a fire hazard.
It's on me, though.
So, you stagger your way up to the crowded bar, and the barmaid, her eyes just frantically just trying to keep up with people holding up fingers and trying to pour those drinks as best she can. She just sees you, doesn't stop, like Ganesh or, you know, an Indian god like trying to do this kind of thing. And she's like, what? Yes! Tables. Yes.
Yeah. I'll turn back and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Five drinks. Six.
She looks over and immediately clocks some of the black ones tonight. And goes, 5 drinks. Oh, wait. There was something Throman wanted you to have. And she ducks back into the back of the kitchen through the door. To a raucous roar of these people at the bars going, hey, I didn't get my ale! And a string of dwarven swear words that just emanate from the kitchen.
I go up and behind the bar and I start serving everyone.
Okay.
And in between each of them I serve myself.
Okay.
Well, no, I'm a gnome.
Yeah. There is actually a small step ladder for the halfling behind the bar.
Yeah, it is a dwarven alehouse, is it not?
Yes. Well, yes. So they do have a step ladder behind the bar. So you immediately see Zook's head just like about that high over the bar and just pushing glass. And people are kind of burlily staring down at you from your vantage point, but with happy faces, and they even throw you a couple of tips. You make 25 gold within like 2 minutes as these guys are just dropping coins.
Right.
And then you see the barmaid reappear.
I'll shapeshift back into my female form with colossal boobs.
And that's another 50 gold.
There we go. Thank you very much.
Immediately. As the conversation kind of, at that moment, dulls to the point of, well, yes, I once heard that the Grand Tree of Life is a standing motion to... Wow. And they just kind of look at your chest. Coins.
I put my hands on the bar. What can I do for you?
Now you have guys like pouring over each other, like, I would get a drink, and no, I'm going to get a drink. The barmaid returns with a rather nice bottle of wine, places it on the counter and disappears, returns with trying to carry a very large barrel of ale. The ale itself is in a black barrel with gold trim around the edges. Ooh. Some of you recognise this to be ale from the Shadowlands. Some of the finest drink in Elisia. And poof, she simply turns to you and says, at Throman's will. And then goes back to the cacophony of trying to, and sees your coin that you've made and decides to let you keep it.
Excellent. Nice. Let's take the barrel.
Yeah.
You get a couple of looks as you carry this ale back to your table. With a small tap, finely crafted in gold. Would Fate be here, she would have immediately gone, wow, that tap's worth at least 200 gold. Right there. But freely pours. Freely pours the Shadowland ale. Very dark. Coloured ale, like Guinness, even darker than Guinness. And the froth, the head is perfect on it. And it just fills your wooden cups as you all sit around the table. A couple of jealous parties kind of glancing over and then looking back at their own two gold dwarven ale and kind
No.
Alright. Grab some cups as well and start pouring it out to the table.
Excellent. It pours freely, the tap is good. And soon you will have a dark mug of ale in front of you.
Cheers.
Yeah.
To the memory of Throman Ashback.
And not just your compadres, but the entire bar joins you in chorus of Throman for maybe the 300th time through this party. It's at this point when you guys notice someone walk through the doors to the tavern, immediately go up to the bar, just kind of motion, gets an ale and goes and sits in the far corner.
The hooded figure.
Classic.
I've been this cliche myself.
It's the only reason I'm wearing this thing. Yes. As he makes his way to the corner of the bar, Gorstag, you look over at Zook as you guys are drinking. And Zook, you look back at Gorstag, but appeared strange. There's almost a veil of, almost like black light that casts over him as you look at him. And
so he's glowing purple now?
No, it's like a filter on Snapchat. There's this colour of, it kind of just goes sepia toned and dark purplish, and then it fades for a second, and then you're unsure what caused it.
How's Palo?
Good, as far as I know. Bright.
Okay. You just appeared a little less bright from it.
I'm going to consult Palor.
That might be an idea.
I would like to pray to Palor and see if I...
Roll some religion. Gorstag kind of...
Network.
Okay.
Palor's not so good, actually.
It is nighttime. Palor can't see what you're doing.
You accidentally pray to Sephanine in your drunken state.
I'm now a cleric of tonight. Welcome, everyone.
Hi, welcome to the Sephanine. No, you beat the wrong number.
You can actually feel the light trying to enter this place, but it is too chaotic in the singing and chanting for it to be able to affect. So, the party. After some time, the man in the corner finishes his ale. As he removes his hood, which I'll do for effect, you see it's...
I couldn't picture it.
That was very well from me. I'm going to grab a mug of ale. I'm going to go up to this guy.
It's Argon.
Oh, right, okay.
Oh, shit.
So I was going to say, hi, you look like a trope.
Minus 10 experience. I was kidding. That was totally cliche. I like that.
Alright, I say hi to Argon.
Yeah. Well, sad to say goodbye, but at least I have my mind back. Throman's memory will continue.
You are you.
And his memory will continue.
Absolutely. The foggy-aled memory of Throman. Now, I need another drink. He motions and...
I invite him over to the table.
Yeah.
He sits. Shadowland ale. I wouldn't mind a drop of that myself.
I give him a drop.
He says, yes, literal. Yeah.
You outsiders. Hilarious.
Well, I've just been meeting with the council. Left in Throman's stead. Seems, the will of the council, I shall rule Blackwinter.
Oof.
You're gonna need some more of this.
Yes, please. You may yourselves know the rather testing history of those who try and rule this place.
Mm-hmm.
Murders and kidnappings and more murders are wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And he finishes his ale. But, an army at my command and a lot of gold. That should keep me alive for a while.
Should do until Sunday.
Yeah.
When will you be the Regent Lord?
There's an inauguration tomorrow. Expected to leaders from all around to show and swear fealty to the king. He's visibly shaken and can barely keep it together. You can tell that, through his life, he's been trusted. He's a man of power, a man of stature in this place, but never has he had the freedom and reign to rule before, and that completely terrifies me.
I'll top up his glass and say, tonight for Throman, but for tomorrow for you, and lift my glass.
And he kind of, as well, lifts his glass as well, and downs the ale. The ale itself is a journey of flavour, very subtle, that all mix quite well perfectly. There's hints of blackberry and elderberry and Gorstag as you sit out the window to the far side on the east. It's maybe the last failing is a light, like the sun is just dipping behind. But as you see the sun on the horizon through this window, you're not sure if it's the ale or a combination of the stress.
Yeah.
But you just see a whole bunch of white flowers blooming outside. Snowdrops, in fact. Flowers that only bloom very certain times. Sign of life. You just noticed that. Well, yes! King Argon, I kind of like that. Terrifying. More ale. I feel like I need a banner or something. I don't know.
Argon.
You're not king yet.
Yes.
Are you a religious man?
Have you heard the good word?
Have you heard the good news?
Well, my family was raised in the House of Dain, God of War.
Oh, well, that's nice. Have you considered that you might need some wiser guidance spiritually going forward in your new stead as a ruler of an entire city?
I certainly would not turn my ear away from counsel.
I think you should read this, and I'll pass a book of Palor into his hands.
Cool. He takes
Here's
it.
my card.
Yeah.
Cool.
Nowhere to find.
We are in every city. Just give us a call.
So in the Temple of Duskin, where you grow up, you have seen the effect of people reading this text before. Sometimes they open it and they start reading. Sometimes they open it and their eyes kind of glaze over, and visions are gifted, or there's a connection of power, and it's like lightning. They pick up the book and they just go, "Oh my god, wow!" And they read the words, and it's truth. Argon does not have that. I rolled for it. He's very non-connected, but he's nice enough to read the passages. And he says, after some deliberation, some meditation over the book, hang on. 4th Jewel full moon. May. What do you know of the Age of Reawakening? And please roll history. That's a d12.
Yeah, no, I rolled a d20 into a d12, so that is starting where am I? That is an 8.
Okay, so the Age of Reawakening, there's something there in your mind, but you can't quite grasp it. And it says, it's the age of the recycle. He shoves the book over and you see a star chart, and it essentially has the months and such. And yeah, today is in fact the day of the Age of Reawakening, the second burgeoning of the cycle of Pelor. Where last it came to its apex, there was a great blessing of the Pelor upon the world, and that falls tonight.
Take that as a sign, Argon.
Well, it's...
Your reign shall be blessed by Pelor, but only if you believe.
Roll persuasion.
That is a 19.
And as you say this, do you have the cantrip light?
I do actually.
A little bit of, not intentionally, but you start to glow. Like Pelor is so proud of you, and he actually, with a 4, like he's just gonna absolutely. Pelor. Long has it been that Throm and Ashback not turned his back on the world of the gods, but certainly did not put it as part of his kingdom. But no, King Argon, champion of Pelor, erected a temple in the city square. I have to meet with some architects, and he leaves. The bar is still raucous. Finally,
You made one. Finally, you got a convert.
It only took 5 levels.
Hey, to be fair, I did convert a bunch of impressionable children once. But
Oh, that's true.
Sure.
That's true.
Yeah, after they'd been in slavery.
So, what would you guys like to do as the party does not wind down, but more people are unconscious than conscious now? So it quietens down a little bit.
I'm fine just going out and wandering around the town.
Okay.
I didn't really get a chance to do that.
Alright. Well, your 2 new compadres have not actually seen too much of Blackwinder if you want to show them around.
I've got a question.
Sure.
We've leveled up so we have our new spell slots and things available. Excellent. I would like to go up to Shiver and say, I've learned a thing or two from you about nature and about what we can do to help these people. And this is the time we need to celebrate and commence rebuilding after this dark period. And perhaps we can use this as a chance to show our new friends around. And what I'd like to do is cast Plant Growth. It takes 8 hours. Okay. But all plants within a half-mile radius yield twice as much when harvested for a whole year.
Wow. Cool. Awesome. Well, you picked a good place because the Dragon's Head Tavern is also surrounded by small groups of plants and a couple of trees.
Wonderful. Can I walk around and kind of use that as a chance to tour with these guys?
Sure.
Basically sing to the fucking plants.
Nice. Bard spells, man. Bard spells. Yes. So
I'm going to join in with that.
Before you go.
Before we do that, I'll slip the bottle of wine that Thorn gave us into my pouch or my bag.
Yeah, sure. You do notice that it's Alvin wine, the finest crafters of wine, but from the city of the Reigning Sun, which makes some of the nicest wines in all of Elisia.
Flavorful.
Yeah.
Orthanc, however, the half-orc kind of stands, puts his empty mugs down and motions you guys to follow. And out into the dusk you travel. Twilight is just approaching, just creeping over the edge of that horizon, the last couple of oranges and reds of sunshine. And now the moody deeps and purples, the same purple that you saw across Gorstag, is now littered the sky. A few of the stars are out, not too many of them. But some of you do notice that the constellation of the Wolf is currently full in the sky. As you travel around, singing to the flowers, you produce even more snowdrops as these beautiful little white flowers start blooming all across Black Winter.
This can be the anniversary of Thromon's burial, a way to remember him and celebrate the new king.
Very nice. As you guys travel through Black Winter, you see the marketplace, which is still going in full effect. It's open later tonight than it usually is. You've got grizzled old men with beards who are selling daggers and such, and 50 gold, finest daggers in Elisia, 50 gold! And you've got small halflings who have little offerings of bread and such, who are just, it's got cinnamon on it, it's rather nice really. And you've also got blacksmith. You can hear the tolling of the steel on steel. It's a blacksmith further off, large, covered in soot and such, with a leather apron, and it's just hammering away at a couple of shields that he's making. Shiver, can you roll perception for me? You catch a glimpse of a gnome to the other side of the marketplace, and as soon as you focus your eyes on him, he's gone. But the marketplace itself, you've got a couple of carts being pushed up, and they're being opened up. You've got fine silks and such. In the centre of the marketplace is a great sundial, which has stood since the Age of Dragons here.
How far through the plant growth spell are we currently?
It takes me 8 hours, so
I'm assuming I'm helping you.
all night.
Alright, okay. So, I want to... Would I be able to follow that gnome whilst... It's just you casting, or am I helping you here? I thought I was
Do
helping
you
you here.
actually have the spell?
Yeah, I have access to the spell.
Oh,
I would allow if you both cast it to take half the time.
sweet. Sounds good.
Okay, cool. So, how far through it are we now?
About now.
About now? So we've got another 4 to go.
Yeah.
I take a mental note of the gnome. Do I
Yeah.
recognise the gnome?
No, you saw it for a very brief flash of instance. You just and it caught your eye because it was someone so short in the marketplace. But as soon as you looked, there was nothing there.
Okay. And how common are gnomes actually in and around this area?
Not greatly. We do have more of them towards the east and central Lucas, but not so
But not
much
here.
No.
So the only other gnome that I really know is Globin, right?
Yes. Yeah. Potentially. Yeah.
Okay. And of course,
With your
Zook.
isn't over.
And Zook.
And good Zook. Yeah.
You had heard that, I believe I said last session, that the Institute of Zook is being reinstated and the people that were exiled are on their way back to
Alright.
restart.
Swing by there and see if anybody's actually back.
Yeah. At some point. You guys good? We're going to carry on with the spell though, because we've got another 4 hours to go.
3.
Yeah.
3. Sorry. Yes.
Cool. So yeah, through the central marketplace, which is still alight, the last failing hours of sunlight, as these people are selling their wares, flowers and such. You've got small halfling girls in white dresses who are selling little daisies and that kind of thing. After some time, Orthanc, you notice you see Argon once more disappearing to one of the segments of the residential district. Which you and few else know is actually home to the pleasure centre. The pleasure district, he's vanishing into that area. You kind of have a little chuckle to yourself kind of thing. However, here they show you around, they show you the back wall of Black Winter, which is unassuming, but had Throman Ashback had installed a door that essentially leads to a secret port, where he had a ship moored in case of need of escape, and certainly the ship that he gifted you is still there, floating, unmanned and tied to the docks. Yeah. They show you around the residential areas, which are lovely, the gardens that are in place here, which grow trees that are hundreds of years old. Yeah, it's after, you show them around, your spell completes.
Excellent.
Beautiful city.
Was that boat supposed to be unmanned?
You
have no guards? You're that...
I'm very drunk.
You're that nonchalant.
Very drunk.
Very.
It's not supposed to be unmanned. Let's go, you know what, we could go put the cask,
Yeah.
put it there.
Yeah.
No, don't tell anyone Don't tell anyone that there's ale launch.
My lips are sealed.
You do realize you're saying this so loudly. That
Yeah, nobody tell anyone. Everybody just don't tell anyone.
Yeah. Don't tell anyone about the secret port, guys.
Alright, so I'll kind of, drunkenly swagger onto the ship and start yelling for the crew, see if anyone's actually there.
Yeah, there's one guy left, and essentially he runs up from below decks and says, "Oh shit! Sorry,
Shit, dude, where the fuck is everyone else?"
I'm gonna roll inside." He takes this opportunity. He says, they're in the tavern drinking, as per your orders that you gave, not 20 minutes ago."
Right? Well, no, that sounds fair enough, actually.
You guys all notice this little halfling dude breathe a big sigh of relief. They're gonna be back. They heard the cheering and such, and wished to see what was going on. And then you said they should stay and drink. I'm sure you remember.
It's cause for celebration, boy. Of course I said that. Speaking of
Saved.
Well, then what are you doing here? Just obeying orders?
He holds up a very small stick.
Oh.
Drew the short one.
Oh.
Someone's got to keep watch of it.
Oh, I see.
Let's go put that cask downstairs, and I lean into the halfling and go, shh, don't tell anyone.
Awesome. He's not going to. He's amazed that he managed to get away with it.
Okay.
Cool.
Get away with what?
No, nothing. I'm doing guys. A hooded figure approaches.
So let's make our way downstairs to put that with the other ale, which is slightly hidden away, and may or may not be there.
Some of you out there will get that. Cool. So eventually night falls, and the tolling bells chime once more in Black Winter to indicate that the curfew is in effect. Not a strict curfew, but certainly marketplaces start closing down and such.
Alright. Where's Captain at this point?
It's a good question.
It's a good question. I
So
don't know what Captain's been doing for a long
I
time.
do believe he's waiting for you in the forest outside of Black Winter.
Yeah. Alright.
Probably hunting, running around and such. Entertaining. and such.
I make a drunken mental note to go say hi tomorrow.
Cool. So as you all fall drunkenly into beds, some of them your own, some of them not, you awake with pounding headaches in the morning to the rather bright, beautiful sunlight Palo has gifted this fine day as it streams through the tavern windows. Zook, you find yourself face down under a tree with a traffic cone, which is amazing because they haven't been invented yet in this world. Well, thank you.
It's like you're so drunk you forgot your name.
Zeed,
I'm a wizard.
Zeed, you're largely the same, except you've got a book on Sephinine that you have no idea where that came from whatsoever. But if you want to note that down,
I will. Yeah, no, the book is a book. You never know when it'll come in handy.
Gorstag, you actually feel the light of Palo as the sun streams through your window, cures your hangover as you wake.
So anyone interested in converting now?
Halo, the god who helps you drink.
Yeah.
Damn it.
I'm going to start talking very loudly to everyone else.
And which god did you say can do this?
Sounds like the oh god of hangovers.
However, you all manage to find your way back down to the tavern where meals are being served for breakfast. Find potatoes and kumaras and sweet potatoes for those of you who don't. And mead and stuff as well for some of the early drinkers.
I immediately go for a mead and then pull the traffic cone off my head and say, "Look, I found this voice extender! Hello!"
And you just hear grumbles, yeah, exactly. People stir in their slumber on top of tables in the bar.
Just like a bard.
And then I slam that mead.
Yeah, you do hear someone stagger in, a guard, and he just goes over to some other unconscious guards and just picks their heads up and slams them into the table until they awake. And he says, "Argon, inauguration." Make an oh, shit. Do it. And some of the guards in the thing go off to Argon's inauguration.
Yeah, we should probably go to that.
I feel we should join.
I think we should join that.
So you head to the front of Thrummond's castle, where Argon, in his finest clothes, which are about that much nicer than the clothes. That's the nicest he owns. Like, suits are up here. He's down here. But he's made an effort. His hair is all like on one side, and his beard is being like combed. It looks like really unnatural, like something like a greaser from the 50s, but like upside down. So they some kind of thing.
Holy shit! Sorry, guys.
Holy shit, he looks nice!
No, never mind. Just anyone who's interested in politics, they finally made the announcement.
Wait, what?
Okay.
Yep.
Okay,
Right.
we'll
find
sort
out
that on
later
the break.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. Our own political country. The problem
Yeah.
is there.
Leonard might know because he's in the same country. But
Oh,
yes.
I'll find out now.
Yeah. So
Oh!
he's like flattening
Wow.
Oh, stop!
There's no place in politics in D&D, as we all know. So
I mean, it's not like we just killed the king.
no, and it's not like you're at a ceremony of someone choosing. Yeah.
No.
Anyway, Argon, trying to make himself look as nice as possible, steps up, and a couple of guards play trumpets. To which you just hear some of the guards go, "Oh my fucking head! Like Jesus, why would they play music at this time? What is wrong with them?" kind of thing. And Argon kind of steps forward. And a whole bunch of heads raised of these people that are in the square. Most of the town is hungover. It's fantastic. And
Is he hungover?
oh, of course. Of course he is.
You saw how worried he was last night.
Yeah. He kept standing only by the rush of adrenaline as he stands up the front.
You don't know a soldier until you've seen him hungover at his own corporation.
He looks around. My he whispers to a guy, my people? Is that... My people! Some of you know me. Some of you don't know me. A couple of girls titter. I will be your king. And they go,
I cough loudly.
and one of the guards...
Druid craft some cricket noises.
And Argon just kind of... And one of the guards steps forward and goes... Anyway, he pulls out the seal of Thromin, which you guys, I do believe, have on a coin at some point.
Yeah. You still got that? Was that with Zook?
That's what's Zook.
Yeah. So essentially a larger medallion form of that gets clipped onto his now shoulder pauldron armors. And the guard kind of goes... And Argon goes... Was that it? Thank you! And he goes back into the castle. At this point where some of the guards come down to you guys that have recognized you, and you said, well, that's our new king, eh, Argon?
The most you could hope for.
Yes, wonderful.
You're not going to call us the Argonauts now, are you?
Of course.
Someone said this.
I was speaking to him last night amongst a very interesting theory about how... Never mind. And he's got a lot of ideas for the place. Great, grand ideas. Alliances that will span all of Elisia. He wishes to bring in diversity and great grand exceptions of peoples, and
Okay, that's good.
I think yes. I think the
sounds
place.
good.
I think culture shall be abound once more in Black Winter. So be ready for some interesting characters.
You seem a little unsettled by that.
Well,
How interesting are these characters?
what know you of the Wildlands?
Nothing.
Well, he thought that something that was lacking in Black Winter was exotic animals. So he's got some animal trainers on the way from the Wildlands.
What animals is he bringing?
Leopards and panthers and great creatures.
Giant lizards.
We should be in charge of feeding and looking after.
I'm so keen. I am visibly like shaking and jumping. When did they get here? When did they get here? When did they get here?
He sent word to their ship should arrive in a few weeks.
Which?
Terribly sorry. Grand creatures, though. Grand creatures.
Alright. Let me know when they get here.
Very well. I shall do so.
Yes.
As for myself, I have preparations to make. He wants Thromin's memory to stay strong, and a few silks adorned the walls that he wants his image woven onto. Anyway, lots of ideas. And he bustles back inside the keep.
Maybe we should go see if he's doing well.
Yeah. I think we know the answer to that, but yeah.
Let's go cheer up our old friend.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys follow inside to where
Yeah.
Argon is going. Now look, where it says that Thromin killed the dragon, can you put my face over Keep that! He says, keep that one. the great story of Throbbing vs. the Dragon. Great story. Keep that one for sure. Don't change that. Oh, there are! Hi! Whoa. Caught me by surprise there.
So do we call you king now?
Holy shit, I guess so. Yes, King Argon. Oh.
Sounds very noble.
You best not be going the way of the...
Yes, you got it!
Yeah! Noble gas, I fucking got it. That was some highbrow humor, man. That was intellectual, right?
Why are you so shocked?
Black Winter Nights. I don't know. I've seen some of the debauchery that goes on this table. Anyway, Argon mentions that he is ushering in a new age in Blackwinter. The gates shall now be open to people of all the lands, and in fact a call has been put out across Elisia by bird and pigeon and such that anyone that wishes to visit is more than welcome, and he's going to host a festival in a week's time to welcome the peoples of the world, and it's going to be fantastic. So you don't want to miss that, for sure.
Okay, we got good security during that time.
That's a lot of people.
We do have another 49 vampires out there that could very well arrive at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's my belief that a knowledge of the arcane should be enough to fight the arcane that comes to kill the arcanists. So, I am training my guards in the ways of overcoming charm and being able to, what they call true sight. Things that will allow me to at least not let in some of the less unsavoury characters of Elisia, those who wish to bite and drink blood and such.
I hate to endorse our friend here, but you could probably bless some of the entrances as well, and anything that does try to wander in that isn't what it appears to be might be turned away or destroyed.
Well, I have in fact been in contact with Master Grain from Duskin, who has returned and is taking over the temple. We had a bird from him this morning. He said he's more than happy to come to the festival in a week's time.
Would I be able to read the message you got from Grain?
Sure. And he pulls out a small... That's a D20, but yeah, he pulls out a small note and hands it to you.
So I recognise it as being Grain.
Roll some insight. Argon goes about, again, shuffling around the thrones and such. He's actually trying to make the throne bigger.
It's a 25.
25. Cool. So, as you step, and that's been, I don't know, quite some time since you've talked to Grain, but you certainly recognise his handwriting from when you grew up in the temple. And this looks eerily like his handwriting, yes. Spookily so. Because you know that's not possible.
Yeah.
What
does the message say?
Oh, it just says, I'm more than happy to attend your wonderful festival, and all the light of Pelor that shall reign upon it. Grain.
Grain's dead for how long?
Several months. I saw his body. That was shortly after we all first met.
We should probably let them know that.
Yeah. Well, I think we might need to pay a visit to
Duskin?
To Duskin and see what's going on there. Because I would assume that a vampire probably couldn't assume control of a temple of the Lord of the Sun, but yeah, I also would have said that it was unlikely that King Throbbing would just be killed by a vampire, and then somebody would assume that it would assume his place. So.
Yeah. He's coming for the festival, isn't he?
In a week's time.
In a week's time, we can wait it out.
Is your girlfriend still alive? I can't remember.
You could bandit him on the road.
Al.
There you go.
Yeah, Al is still alive as far as we know.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I haven't
So
heard from him,
when I passed through the town on the way down, was he around then?
Yes, so as the Kinku now informs you as he's kind of like listening to this conversation, he had passed through Duskin not too long ago on his way down from the north, and had found that the current headmaster who was there has resigned and is travelling towards the east in search of the city of temples. Wonderful place. And there has been a few instituted changes in that the military presence has been increased. The monks and the disciples of Pelor are now being trained in ways of combat as well after the recent events. And apparently Grain has returned. And you also heard the Kinku is considered quite lucky in Duskin, as bird is seen as a free creature that flies along the light of Pelor. So you were no strangers to some of the all the monks and such were eager to tell you what had been going on. Pelor, Grain apparently has returned. He is ruling over the temple, and they say they've never seen the sun shine so brightly as it does now in Duskin.
I mean, does Pelor like the undead?
Not so much. Pale like, a brilliant sunny day, people generally being nice to each other, and, people who destroy the undead. So, no, he doesn't like the undead.
Alright.
Well, we
Reviving is...
Yeah, him and
I'm
Orcus,
sure
best
there's
buds,
like
right?
druid magics that
Yeah.
rebirth,
I mean-
renew a body.
It is possible to resurrect using Pale's magic, but not generally for someone who's been dead for that long. And there'd be no reason that it would happen now, I wouldn't think.
Well, why
Especially
not?
since it has been so long.
Why not
How
wait out a
recent
week
was it?
here?
It was about like a week ago?
Oh,
or...
months ago that he died.
Oh, no, but like when I passed through, that was about like a week ago or something.
Maybe more like 3 or 4 days.
Alright.
How long's the journey to Duskin?
About a day.
That day. So we could get out there and
We've
find
got a
out.
boat.
We've got a
It's
boat.
True, so a couple of hours.
It's a lot
Couple of
shorter
hours.
than a boat.
Excellent. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to go get Captain.
As the crow flies.
I got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is there any way I could speak to
Flash people.
bad name's Argon?
Argon, yeah,
Yeah. Speak to Argon because I'm still curious as to what was in that hidden set.
Sure.
Hash.
Oh,
He's
God, no.
actually he's by the throne himself. He's saying, "Can we make it bigger? I want the throne to be taller and maybe a statue of myself behind it." Oh Jesus!
Well,
Yes.
Yeah.
Welcome.
I saw something the other day when Naya was around here. I saw something behind the wall. I'm still not sure what it is. Just wondering if we could check it out. We don't know whether or not all of Naya's presence is completely gone.
Right, behind the wall. He
Yeah.
walks up to the wall.
You mentioned something of a hidden secret.
And he turns around and a small, maybe about that big opening in the wall
Okay.
opens up. And kind of, he actually goes before you and kind of peers in.
I'll cast detect magic.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. You kind of step up beside him as he's like peering through. It's quite dark. And stuff.
Yeah.
And then, and through. So the room that you look into is 1 door, 2 door, 3 doors.
Okay.
Behind this door, there's some arcane energy going on through there.
Yeah.
But Argon does not notice that at all. He goes, I wonder where that one leads. He starts climbing through and goes up to the back door of the room and kind of. There's a staircase, spiral staircase that goes upwards. He goes, "Oh, interesting." And he starts climbing up, giving you a brief window of opportunity.
Well, I'll check out the other door.
Cool.
I'm
So
gonna
he's-
follow him up the stairs.
Cool. So you guys sneak through. The door that you sense the arcane behind is in fact locked.
Oh, okay. Is there a... Oh, I don't have...
It's fine, I'm following up the stairs.
Yeah. We can't break it open, could we?
You can try.
I'm good at lockpicking.
Oh, okay.
Can you fix the door
So
after you
bad.
break it?
No.
Everything.
I
step
fill up my
aside.
great axe.
Yeah.
Does it look like I can lever the door open with it?
It's not a heavily locked door. Yeah.
Okay, then I'll try to lever it open.
Roll some strength as Orthanc steps forward with his
I'm just gonna
Axe.
step a bit back.
Yeah.
17?
and opens it. Now, some of you may remember when Fate opened the same door.
Oh, fuck!
And as it swings open, a treasure chest just. In fact, I'm never going to everyone to roll initiative.
Oh, damn.
I'm like going up the other door. Do I still roll? Yeah. Probably.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh,
It's
man.
literally the exact same room. Thank you. Ooh. Oh, okay. Just while we're getting ready for battle mode, I'd like to thank our new follower, Indoor1125, who donated $20, which is $25 in New Zealand money.
Yeah!
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
I'm also Stratus on YouTube. Good job with the streams and the YouTube videos. I suppose I need to get caught up sometime. Yes, awesome. Thank you so much. I'm keeping this. It's going to go right there. Fantastic. Okay.
Right over the D20.
Right over the D20.
Last in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So allow me to just set up the wonderful battle cam that Leonard paid for. Thank you, Leonard. We love you. Now, let me think. What do we got here? This would be one of these rooms, I think. Should suffice.
You don't want these back, do you?
Yeah.
So it's only like $250 worth of dice.
Really?
Because I've already rolled the one.
Okay.
See? But now you've rolled really high, so you take the purple one. The purple one still doesn't roll really high.
Holy
See? That's how you do it.
Ollie, do you want to
You a wizard?
move
No,
Move that.
I'm a blood hunter.
a bit closer the battle
like a
table
wall.
mat?
Yeah.
A bit closer on the table?
Yeah, sure. Let me just, I've got Mimic written down here somewhere.
Right, so you sold your soul for that power.
Yes.
I see.
Oh, man.
I got him to roll a 20 on his initiative roll.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so where's the center of the map?
I, of
Where's-
course,
where's the
rolled a
belt?
9.
Pretty much the
5.
center of the map is right where that circle is.
Perfect,
So
okay,
right
that's where you
now,
guys
it's
find
Did
each
I get
other.
like
Hey,
+4 or some shit though?
stop.
Plus 4.
Go down on the dice. I need my dice back.
My dice.
Back to roll initiative for the mimic.
Okay, there you go.
Thank you. Okay, so
Hopefully it's worse than
it
me.
should be a quick battle. Alright, 7. Okay, so 20 to 25.
21.
Alright, Orthanc, go. This mimic is now like, where are you? You're here. So you've just entered this room here. Ignore the thing on the floor, that's not actually there. And mimic now brandishing its teeth coming at you from there.
Well, it brandishes its teeth. I'm going to give it a clonk on the head with Rackworm.
Okay, roll the hit.
Let's see if I can get another.
As this thing just starts viciously chomp, 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 bouncing across the floor.
That's a whopping 14 to hit.
14 does hit, in fact, so I need you to roll damage as you just walk
Baby.
forward, come straight down upon it.
14 slashing damage.
14, okay, awesome. And you cut it, and it kind of actually roars a little bit.
Down, boy.
Awesome, okay. Who was next in the initiative order? 20 to 25? Anyone? No, okay, 15 to 20.
Oh,
Holy
you
crap.
guys
Okay, 10 to 15.
11.
13.
Gorstag, you're up, go.
Alright, I am going to attack with my Gauntlet of Fire. And. No, that's not that.
No.
So that is. Yeah, that was like a 7 or something.
So, Orthanc, as you enter the room, you stand next to, Gorstag, as you enter the room next to Orthanc, you cast from the Gauntlet of Fire, newly picked up from one of the vampires, I do believe.
Okay,
And,
but,
yeah, and it scales across, however, the mimic turns into a very small pea, and then back into a treasure chest. Okay, 5 to 10.
Yes.
11.
Yeah.
11, Shiver, you go.
Right. So I am going to cast a flaming sphere at the thing.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom,
So,
boom.
Shiver kind of steps forward, like, hold my beer, and it's funny because he's got beer form. Thanks. Is this off camera? Can no one see that? Is that good? Yeah, sweet.
I mean, it's no noble gas.
No, it
but-
wasn't as good as that.
Make a dex save.
Okay,
7
let's
throw.
make a dex save. My dex is +1 as a mimic. That's an
DC
18.
14.
18.
Okay.
A flaming sphere erupts on this side. The mimic darts to the left.
Alright.
The right.
And I am gonna rush forward and I'm gonna bring out, because I don't do this very often, I'm
Cool.
gonna bring out a flame blade.
And as you draw it from its hilt, it erupts in fire, woof, illuminating this room. The mimic actually almost quavers a little bit at the side.
Okay. So I will attack with the flame blade.
Comes scaling down in a
For
beautiful
a
arc.
22.
That does hit. What was your damage though?
14.
14, alright.
Okay. And I do my already 6.
Yep, go ahead.
As the flaming blade arcs and strikes clear in the center of the chest.
10, 11 fire damage.
11 fire damage. It cuts across the mimic who... you kind of see like its little tiny eyes like focus on you. Zeed, you're up.
Yep. Sweet.
that
I'm
Kinko?
following. What's his name up the stairs?
Yes, which is over this way. So you're about here. Cool.
Yep.
Would you like to head down now that you hear the sounds of battle?
I hear the sounds of battle. Is what's his name?
Argon is still travelling up. You actually hear him
So memorable.
completely oblivious. He's going, I wonder
Yeah.
how far up the staircase goes, and he's just kind of wandering.
I'm going to keep an eye on the new king.
Fantastic. Okay, good. Well, wise
You seem to
decision.
have it covered.
you hear the words of the king echoing down the stairs. The mimic now is going to try and attack, and it's attacking the only person that's right in front of it, and it's done some serious damage. So, I need to roll a hit. All right, let's go.
What was the mimic's initiative?
7.
Oh, 7.
Hey, who said it was a mimic?
Let it go. It's like it's...
Goblin in the chest. Yeah.
That's 18 plus like 5, so I imagine that hits.
Who are you attacking?
Shiver, because Shiver is within melee range.
No one's identified this creature.
That is 12 points of piercing damage as it clamps down upon you.
What did you roll to hit?
18 plus 5.
Oh, right, okay.
23. I just imagined that. I'm pretty sure.
Alright.
It does. And now you see Shiver, like small gnomish creature, hand just stuck between the teeth of this treasure chest. Kind of thing.
We'll have to cut it off. I'm sorry.
Now you're up.
what was I going to say?
How many points was it?
9 plus 3, so 12.
Can I look around the room real quick?
You sure can. I can't remember which one of these you are, so I'm just going to put you as this one.
Yep.
Right, so the room itself is fairly small. In fact, it was essentially all it was in this room was a treasure chest that turned out to be him.
Okay. I'll cast Fireball.
Cool. And it scales across the room, illuminating briefly the flickers of fire around. Is it roll a hit, or deck save, or does it just hit?
No, it's a D10.
Cool. Do you have to roll a hit though? No.
Yes, I do, I guess.
Okay, roll a hit. It's got low AC.
That's 13.
That hits, alright. It's eruption of fire. Essentially, you guys are all kind of watching as Shiver has his arm in the teeth of this thing going, guys, a little help, this hurts like fuck. And you kind of step forward, cast this bolt of fire.
Yeah. That's 5? Yeah,
Okay.
5.
And it hits the mimic. Once again, it roars. That's all you're doing, is it?
Yep.
Orthanc, you're back up.
Okay, I'm going to cut off Shiver's arm. No, I'm going to attack it with Great Weapon Master this time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's only +1 to hit, and it is 11.
11? Why am I looking over there? Does not hit. Just does not hit.
Alright. Yeah, that'll be me.
Okay, that would be Gorstag.
Cool. I was going to attack again with
Okay.
the things. That's an 18 to hit.
That hits, rushes forward, now next to Shiver, arm still stuck in the teeth of a mimic.
That is 6 damage.
6 damage, alright. You're getting through it, but it's still not looking that bad. It lets go of you briefly. Actually, no, because it's a mimic. It's got adhesive, which means if it touches you, you'll grapple. So I need you to make a strength save to try and get out of there.
Damn it!
DC 13.
7.
Okay.
No, 5.
5. Okay, so that's your turn. You can't break the grapple. He's now got advantage on attack rolls because you're grappled, and it is his turn. No. Sorry, it's Zeed first. You still looking after
Yeah,
Zeed?
I'm 10.
Okay.
Still looking after the guy, yeah.
Okay, sweet. So now the mimic is going to attack. It's got advantage now. That is 21 to hit. 16 plus 5. 21 to hit? Yeah, okay. Where did my d4s go? I just had them there. As it bites down once more. Ooh. 17 points of piercing damage. As it just essentially releases your arm just long enough to come back down and bite as hard as it can. Zai, you're up.
Kai.
Okay.
Kai, yeah.
I'll cast Fireball again.
I'm just going to have to change your name. Okay,
Yeah.
roll to hit. A second streak of fire.
8.
Does not hit as it goes past, it goes over Shiver. Shiver, some of your hair just kind of singes and almost like a little mohawk pattern just over your head. Is that all you're doing with your turn?
Yeah.
Orthanc, you're back up over here.
Can I try and pull Shiver out?
You certainly can. Runs over to your side. You feel the 2 burly hands of a half-orc on your shoulder as you try and pull roller.
Is it strength or athletics? Or?
Strength, I'd say. Straight strength.
Okay.
DC 13.
Oh boy. 21.
And immediately you're ripped from the jaws of the mimic. Arm bleeding. Is that all you're doing with your turn?
No, I'll whack a little healing word on you, say.
Nice.
It's not all that bad. That'll be a...
Grow up.
You've still got an arm. 6 hit points. You heal.
Nice.
Cool. Okay, Gorstag.
Cool. I was going to attack again.
And once again, the axe comes swinging down.
That one is a 12.
Just hits, roll damage as poof, connects once more.
8 damage.
Cool.
And, sorry, just as a bonus action if it's not dead.
Yeah.
I'm going to cast Shield of Faith on Shiver, which gives him +2 AC.
Your AC.
Nice.
Essentially, this golden divine light just emanates around Shiver, and Shiver, it actually kind of clamps onto your arms and such. You've now got this holographic plate armor around you on all sides.
Nice.
Head like winged helm on the side. You're just like, oh, this is cool. And you're up as well.
Alright, cool. So looking back at the mimic, I direct the sphere of fire to ram itself in that again. Make a deck save.
Okay. 20 modified.
Yeah. Okay.
Rolling well.
And where am I?
Right next
I've
to
just been pulled free, haven't
Yes, so you're right there. You're still there, but you're still within melee range.
I? Yeah.
But you're no longer
No longer
in
grappled.
teeth.
Alright, screw it. Attack the flaming
The
blade.
arc of fire.
Oh, nice. That is a 23.
With a mimic? No, that is not hit. No, I'm just kidding. Ooh, the arc of fire as it strikes the chest once more and sparks.
4. Ah, nice. It's 16 points of fire damage.
Okay. Some of the oak on the chest kind of goes ashened and dark, and the wound as you pull back, it's now kind of broken, and the mimic is kind of. Is that what you're doing?
Yep, other than moving out of the way, so I do not get grappled again.
Okay, but he'll get an attack of opportunity if you move.
I did. No, don't worry about it.
Okay. Zeed, still making sure that Argon is now at the top, and he's found that this chamber actually leads to a very small room with windows, essentially a sniper's nest that Throman had installed.
Of course.
Cool. The mimic now it's going back for you, but you've got +2 to your AC. It's no longer grappled, so it's only got one chance to hit. That is natural 20. I did not expect that to work. Okay, but I won't roll. I didn't roll too high. All right, 7, 14.
If you die, you die.
17 points of piercing damage, and you're once again grappled as it digs its teeth into the same spot and just has this horrible adhesiveness that just sticks you to it. That's all it's doing. Kai, you're up. Kai. I wrote down Zai. I'm putting Kai. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'll cast Firebolt again.
Third streak of fire. How many spells do you have?
Oh, they're cantrips.
Oh, sweet. Yeah. To hit.
18.
Hits. Right. And this time, the fire strikes this thing right in the chest and
4.
Cool. Maths. It roars again. That's the sound a mimic makes. Is that what you're doing?
Yep.
Well, thank you. Up.
You say it strikes it right in the chest.
Yeah.
Nice.
How upset and/or bloodied is it looking?
It's not near death, but it's certainly doing a lot worse than it was.
I'm gonna try and Great Weapon Master it again.
Nice. Orthanc runs up.
I pray really hard to the god of Ale. I'll get a natural 20.
It's going to be an 18.
It's 13 modified.
Yeah, that's roll damage.
Okay.
This thing careens down.
Sorry, I was using Great Weapon
You were.
Master. That's why that's a 13.
Yeah.
That's 8 plus 13, 21 slashing damage.
This time, little amorphic blobs of this chest start breaking apart. It's kind of like mesh of almost like flesh. It's like a really large earlobe just kind of slumps off it, and another one. It's like
you pretty?
You've cut it in half. It's not dead yet, but it's looking pretty damn ragged. Is that what you're doing?
Yep.
That would be Gorstag.
Cool. Just attack again. Fuck, that's
Nope.
a roll. That's not it.
Shiver.
Am I still grappled?
Yes. Escape DC 13. Roll straight.
You can still fight it while grappled.
Yes, because why not?
Yeah. Well, my arm's in the middle of it, and I
Yeah.
can use a bonus action to get the flame blade back in my hand. Back in my hand.
Yes.
Back in my hand.
Yes.
So what I'm thinking is a bonus action to create the flame blade in the hand that is in the mimic.
Sure. Okay. Right. So I'd say roll to hit with advantage. Sure. Because essentially, you're just going to light that up.
That is a lot.
Cool. Roll damage. As Shiver's just calculating, Orthanc on one side, Gorstag on the other. Kind of has this idea.
So that is 9 points of fire damage. And then as my main action, I'm going to shove my hand right against it and produce flame.
Okay. So essentially, you guys see from the back of this mimic, a blade of fire erupts from its back, more amorphous blobs slump off it.
Do I get advantage with that because I'm touching the mimic, or...?
No, because you're still grappled to it.
Alright, so I rolled like 7 plus 5 is 12.
Ooh, 12 just hits, roll damage.
Okay.
Alright, as the mimic roars.
5 points of fire.
Okay. Alright, sweet. Okay. More fire. It's now wavering. It's now like this one blob, and it's just blob. All that's left is teeth. It's this little amorphous blob of flesh with teeth. Argon is just. I can see all the way over the walls. This is brilliant. I might come up here to read. Anyway, the mimic is going to attack you, Shiver, once more. Let's go for this. 18 plus 5. Damn. It's rolling well.
Going down.
Ooh, shit, okay. 17 points of piercing.
Oh, what's the rules? How much do you have to go down by to die?
So
maximum.
into negatives past your maximum. So if your maximum is
Oh,
20,
right,
you go
okay,
past
that's
mine, yeah. So again, the mimic, just amorphous blob of teeth, just snaps once more. That's too much for Shiver, and Shiver falls to the floor. That would be Kai, you're up.
Do we have? We didn't long rest, so I still have all my spell slots to spend. Oh, we did.
You did long rest.
Oh, we did.
Yep,
long
yep,
rest.
yep,
Okay.
Yeah.
In a haze of hangover, but yeah.
I'm just gonna catch Firebolt again.
Okay, once more. Fire emanates.
15.
Hits. Roll damage.
6.
The fire just streaks across, and as the mimic rears up for another bite, the fireball just goes straight into the mouth and it bites down and just... A rain of purple blob just dead and out of combat.
I'll just go cast Cure Wounds on Shiver.
Shiver, you wake up, bleary-eyed, hand aching. That's most of your wounds.
Take 11 points of healing.
Awesome.
A decent chunk.
Thank you, thank you.
Well,
And we are out of combat. It's at this moment.
Can I loot the corpse?
No, it's a mimic.
Yeah, they usually have stuff.
Okay, roll investigation.
Yes!
It's all fake stuff.
Look the blob.
Investigation.
It's now like there's now just like droplets, like little puddles of purple that were once a mimic.
More mimics inside it.
20 modified.
Cool. No. sorry. Fate would be proud. You finally killed the mimic that she had sealed within the store months ago in the game. I think pre-stream actually.
yeah, it was.
That mimic was locked in that room for all that time, hence its ill temper. Anyway, after some time, Zeke and Argon come down. Argon quite charged. He's quite happy. He's like, never thought. It's such a nice. And he looks into this room. Oh, this one's nice as well. I could put some stuff in here. I might put like a little porch swing. And why are you guys all bloody? That looks painful.
I'm glad I didn't have anything to do with this.
Well, I've got much to do. Remodeling the kingdom is no easy task, and I suppose I'll find a wife. Anything else?
Yeah, politics, running the country.
That too.
Alright, I'm gonna walk past nursing my hand, looking like seriously just worrying about freaking tapestries.
Cool.
Don't let it get onto your head. We'll just walk past as well.
Cool. He's kind of oblivious to what's just happened. Yeah. Oh. Good day. Good
Do you
day.
want to go see your dead, your grandfather?
In a sense.
In a sense. Mentor, but sure.
Yeah.
Yes, let's go. Should we go to the ship and see if we can at least find your crew anyway, and then get the
Oh, those bastards. I wonder what they got up to. Yeah.
I think I heard that you gave them permission to go to the pub.
No, I'd never do that.
I didn't think it sounded like you, but you know.
Always question.
Exactly. It's your ship, you know. I'm not going to question your decisions.
Let's go find them.
Tell them while you're doing that, I'm gonna go get Cap and I'll meet you back here at the ship.
Alright,
Cool.
cool. Sounds good.
Okay, I'm off.
Awesome. Yeah. As you make your way to the edge of Blackwind Forest, where you had left Cap, you find a corpse. No, I'm kidding. You find Cap, and in fact, he comes bounding back with glee, skipping every like third step, like bouncing like a rabbit, and just immediately jumps on you, knocks you over, is licking your face and such. Happy to be reunited. You kind of ruffle his fur, and he kind of just snuggles up.
Hey, how you doing, boys? Alright, ready to go on an adventure? Cool, let's go.
And he scuttles back. The guards actually stop you both as you approach. You are
Biggest Captain compared to me.
taller than you. For
Taller
sure.
than me,
More than
yes.
the Direwolf, yeah.
He's my wolf.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry. Captain the Wolf.
Captain the Wolf.
Fair enough.
Valued member of the party.
Yeah. So I could ride Captain,
You
right?
could easily.
Yeah.
Okay, I asked Captain whether or not it would be okay if I rode. Okay, fine. Let's go.
You stop at the gates and the guards say, sorry, new procedure. In fact, no, it's the two guards. They're back, aren't they? Yes, the two guards are back. So, instead you approach the gates and you simply hear, look, I could drink more ale than Throman could. Look, mate, no one's going to believe that, no matter how much you charm them with your words. He goes, well, speaking of charm, and you guys approach, he says, well,
Technically, I say,
Yeah.
Throman can't actually drink any more ale.
Yeah, gotcha! And the guy goes, fuck, and flicks the other guy a gold piece.
Yes.
Now, look, new procedure. I'm just going to try something. Like a TV medium trying to appear like sucking the gun. He goes, he's trying to cast a couple of spells to make sure you're not illusionist, as is the new rule. He has no idea how to do that, however. He's just like, after a while, he kind of mumbles some words in Elven, like, Samanda, Natha Tiger Fire! And the other guy just stares at him and goes, nope, he's fine. Not a vampire at all, I'm fairly sure, I'm totally confident. And he waves you through the gate. The rest of you make your way. Yeah. riding Captain, who's very happy to be back in Blackwinter. You guys yourselves make your way, very centralist, I like it, make your way back to, it's just a black, it looks good, back to the, I like to do that, back to the edge of Throman's Castle. Your crew has returned, some of them nursing hangovers, all of them just heads down, do their jobs, in complete, just don't say a word, just get things done kind of mode.
I pull out my voice extender and start walking right up to them and going, "You there, up on telegram!" Yeah. And basically yelling out basic orders right into their ears. Yeah.
Cool. They're all just like...
Did not expect that.
Sorry, Jinx.
Sitting on a cattle prod just kind of mean. Yeah. Cool. You do notice that the flowers, the spell you cast, great effect. In fact, the trees now littered with sakura or cherry blossoms kind of dart through the air, an air of fancifulness as these wonderful adornments of beautifully coloured flowers that were still dormant in the land but certainly have been allowed to grow to this extent, has now added an entire palette of colour across Blackwinter. It's marvellous. No more fitting tribute to Throman I can think of. Something so beautiful of life and love and colour and nature and beauty and all that kind of stuff. And now
Can think of a fitting tribute. We do the same thing or something similar with a whole bunch of hops.
Oh my god! Holy shit! Yes!
5 experience points just for the
That's
idea.
such a good idea.
As you make your way back to the ship, it's now ready to sail. The guys have got it sorted within 10 minutes of being on the ship, realising they'd snuck away to get drunk for Throman. They're just working at triple speed, and they get it ready to go within 10 minutes.
Cool. Let's hit sail.
And they're all just waiting. Cool. So, you guys, I imagine this is the first time you've ever been on a boat, Zeed.
I don't need it.
Exactly.
Welcome aboard the Throman.
Would it be...
Oh boy.
Let's go. Would it be completely, would it be too much of a pun if you sit in a crow's nest?
No. In fact, let me inform you, I'm going straight up there.
The Kenku bird person lands in the crow's nest.
For the record, Jinx is travelling with Iron Egg.
Yeah,
just
Jink is
causing
not
chaos.
fine. Yeah, so you notice that Jink is not among your crew, and no one's too sure where Jink has gone. However, Gorstag and Shiver, as you get on this boat, and
Whispers in the wind.
as soon as you remember Jinx, both of you just go cloud of vision, and it's the first time you guys have ever stepped in a shared vision, but you're both on the side of this now swirling bit of colour. And as the smog turns clearer, you see a small farming village. You see this bright blue light emanating from a stone. You see a hooded figure holding it. The vision steps forward a little bit, and you see farmer's children, an entire village of farmers, getting just ripped apart alive by these demonic entities, just digging claws into chests, exposing hearts, ripping them out, eating them like horrible John Romero style destruction of this place. And you guys are back on the ship.
Do I recognise the village by any chance?
Roll history.
The stone would be fairly distinct.
This is more because my backstory is I come from a small farming village near Duskin, so unless it's that or in that region, I would have no way of knowing what it, recognise it. So if it is in that area, I agree to roll, but you know what I mean.
Yes.
But if it's not if it's outside of that area, there's no chance that I don't know.
Have advantage.
That is going to be not too bad actually. That is a 17.
A single tear rolls down your cheek as you see people that you once knew and left torn to shreds.
Yeah.
The last thing you see from the vision is 2 young children escaping and running, and you just overhear them saying to each other, just keep going, don't stray far, we'll find help, and they're gone. Anyway, the rest of you guys find yourself on a lightly drifting ship. The sky completely blue, stark clear, not a cloud to be seen, perfect sailing weather. The ocean itself, very, very calm. The stainless sea is beautiful, shimmering off into the horizons. And as eventually the ship lunges away from port and the hidden gates at the back of Blackwinter close, you guys set sail towards Duskin, the beautiful port city. A lovely, lovely day, not much in the way of waves or anything, it's fine sailing. Zeed keeps an eye out from the crow's nest. Watching.
Sort of flittering around the ship and then back up.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, it's neat.
You do notice from what is now east, a couple of bandits on the high road. Actually what you see is an injured man by the side of the road going, "Ah!" But immediately you remember that fateful day where you tried to help them and got ambushed. It seems that bandits have returned and running their cons the same. Shiver, please roll perception with advantage.
We should go break a few
should
legs
go
on
help
our way
him.
back. No.
He looks like he's in distress.
Yes, we hate old people.
25.
But I do like
The
a
light
good
of
rave.
Pelor shines down upon you.
Halo is having a rave.
That was freaky as all
Hey,
hell.
look,
but-
it's the last penny.
25.
25, alright.
I see something.
Dave, where's Dave? Dave, the light's doing the thing.
They said the
Dave.
It's alright, when
Slipless switch.
a rave, what a problem is that switch turns off like most of these things. Yeah.
Well, what if you switch it off and turn it back on again?
No, it's dodgy wiring.
Quick,
We'll just deal with
Fair
it.
enough.
Well,
Why
shit.
not look at it?
As you watch, you're kind of instinctively and almost subconsciously watching the forests as you sail, because you're not sailing too far off the high road. You're kind of like a while off, but you do see quite clearly what looks like a horse of some kind. However, completely ethereal. In fact, wreathed in almost blue fire. This great steed, and
Do I recognize that or know anything about it? Do I know any
Roll,
legends that go with that?
you can roll nature or survival.
Confirm, please.
Nat 20.
Nat 20.
Oh no, wait, this is 2.
Cool. Yeah. So it's clearly not a breed of horse. You recognize it as being a pinto horse, but a pinto horse that's been enchanted or risen or something. Riding the horse, however, a small gnomish creature. And you just kind of see he's kind of looking out. You can see he recognizes the ship, and a tiny gnomish hand waves from the forest.
Tiny gnomish hand.
Excellent. Anyway, you guys head towards Duskin. What the hell is that? Okay. I've produced a pin from nowhere, wow.
Magic.
Did it look like Logan was going in one direction or the
As soon
other?
as he sees you, he heads off towards Duskin.
Duskin?
Yeah.
Excellent, okay.
The sailing is good. Gorstag, as you get closer to Duskin, you're now pretty much passing the central gate on the way to the shipyard. You see the Rift of Pelor has been opened once more towards the north. You also see, heading off into the forests just outside Duskin, a group of maybe 6-7 people in green cloaks, now just disappearing into the trees.
Yeah.
As you make your way to port, you see that there are quite a few ships. It looks like Duskin is flourishing, which is nice, and as you guys all kind of dock amongst smaller ships, grander ships, and that kind of thing, a whole bunch of Pelor monks, who generally run the place, rush up and notice immediately the ship, the Throbbin', and wonderful visitors, love. Gorstag, my child! And a whole bunch of monks who essentially were like uncle figures that you grew up with kind of rush to the side of the boat, and one of them actually waves a hand, and this little ladder just kind of snakes its way up to the ship.
Good to see you, brothers.
And to you, the light of Pelor, the blessings are many. We have much to tell you. Please, join us within the temple.
Are my companions welcome as well?
Of course! And that's tamed, right? The wolf?
No,
Okay.
he's just friendly to me.
Okay.
It's okay.
He's mostly tamed.
Well, there's much to discuss. Wonderful news. Blessings of Pelor are many this day. Quick. And he starts walking towards the temple. That's where we're going to take a 10-minute break. Because I need a cup of coffee. I clearly have not had enough. So, we'd like to... Where's the note? I put it on myself. There it is. We'd love to just give a shout out and huge props to Ender1125. I hope that's your PIN number, 1125. It's a good number, I like it, yeah. Thank you, Endor, for donations. That goes towards replacing the camera and the microphone that we are borrowing from Jason, my lovely friend Jason. So we can become independent here and have that stuff. That's where your money is going. Thank you so much for donating. We really do appreciate it. And myself, Oliver, and Newsmaster, and my lovely players, Black Knights, will be back in 10 minutes. We just need to refresh our drinks. So, join us in the city of Duskin, the temple of Pelor, in the port city in the north of Ukast in Elisia. Back in just a second.
colour.
Hello and welcome back to Black Winter Nights here on D20 Multiverse with myself, Oliver, Dungeon Master, and my lovely players of Black Winter Nights. We'd like to just give another shout out to Endo1125 for donating and joining and being the most coolest person, and literally at this moment my favourite person in the world. I've never met you, but at this time, because you like us and you did some stuff.
Are you American?
Yes.
Cool. Oh, and
Lennon.
Hey Lennon! Hey Lennon, how's it going? We'd love to have you with. You just saw use of our awesome battle cam that you bought for us. Thank you so much. Now, when the party found themselves last, they'd just docked in Duskin, the port city, and city of the worshippers of Pelor, the great grand temple.
Your plane.
You make your way off the boat. The crew go again, still working triple speed, making sure that the boat is fine. You do notice some interesting ships. You've got smaller merchant ships. You've got a livestock ship that's carrying a whole bunch of sheep. You're not sure why, but there's a whole lot of buying and crates of sheep being loaded off one of the ships. There is a ship full of ales and such, what you would glean from these large barrels, and a lot of what's going on in the dock is the movement of cargo and such. However, as the monks of Pelor are alerted to your presence, as the Black Winter Knights have once returned, in fact the very saviours of their city, they lead you immediately to the centre of the city, into the Temple of Pelor. You, Gorstag, immediately noticed that there's been a few more erections here in terms of, I knew as soon as I said that. We're like in our 20s.
The very first thing you notice.
He is the choir boy. So.
Halo has
Oh god! See, that's what I love about Black Winter Nights, because my other game is like in the afternoon, we just don't get to make such jokes. Anyway.
Pelor has blessed everyone.
Yeah.
Some more than others.
Oh, you're breaking the DM, guys. Oh man. Anyway.
So he's like the equivalent of Zeus, he can't keep it in his pants or what?
You notice that around the temple there's been new constructions of essentially stained glass within these great stone
Bet the glass is stained.
Sorry! You notice that the time at which you've arrived is now exactly 12 PM. The sun is directly in the centre point of the sky, which is where, at this time of day, the shadows and the various stained glass bits that are around the city line up. The shadows of the temple. The temple's been built, obviously, with certain windows in certain places and that kind of thing. Put the runes of Pelor across the grounds. The grass that is growing, again, snowdrops, little white flowers are growing here as well. And you see that the great stained glass almost puts this diamond-style pattern, like a Jackson Pollock on PCP. It's this beautiful. It's like a whole bunch of D4s and D8s, just beautifully arranged as these monolith structures cast shadow of colour through stained glass on the ground. Shiver. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Okay.
Wisdom saving.
Oh, that makes so much more sense. That is a 18.
You're not sure if it's the journey on the ship, but the Shiver is a bit drained of colour, and you find it kind of difficult to walk. Your legs are a bit quavery, and as you step off the ship and trying to be ushered within the temple, that same purplish bluish haze just clouds your vision. And now very clearly you see Gorstag. None of the rest of you see this, and you certainly don't feel this, but around Gorstag there's this band of metal and this heavy chain holding off his neck. And he just kind of looks at you through this haze of purple and blue. You get a sense behind him of this looming figure kind of watching you, and then woof, that's gone, and you find yourself in front of the Temple of Pelor in Dustin.
Okay. I stop him and pull him over to the side. And say, do you remember we saw something going on, yes?
In the village?
In the village, yeah. The colouring of that, like the whole vision was this purple sepia haze. Just had another one of those. This is the third time. So back before, when I said check Pelor, you turned purpley sepia, because that's actually a colour. It just happened again, and I saw you with a collar around your neck.
I don't know what that means.
What kind of collar? Like a cleric collar or a
like a
trophy
metal
collar.
Right.
metal thing with ball and chain around your neck instead of your ankle.
Oh, you're a slave.
I think you're gonna get married. No. Be careful. This place may not be what it seems.
Thank you for the warning.
Pretty damn sure of that anyway, but probably is not what it seems. Also, what do you know about that stone that we saw in the vision?
That's a good point, actually. What do I know about this stone that we saw in the vision? Anything?
Oh, yes. Yes. Roll insight, both of you. Retroactively.
That is a 23 for me.
That is a complete and utter failure.
Gorstag! Well, Shiver goes, oh, it was a thing, it was like a...
It was a big chicken!
You notice that you realise it was in fact the signal stone from Knight's Castle that Arkan had taken, that essentially was a beacon to demons that were under Knight's rule.
Do you know where that place was?
Yes, that's the village I grew up in, funnily enough.
Oh,
Yes.
we should go check that place out very soon.
I think that is a good idea. I want to talk to Gran first, though.
Okay.
That,
The corpse guy.
I mean, if
they're already dead.
potentially. I mean, yeah,
We don't want to go in blind.
we don't know if they're already dead or not, but if something of that magnitude is happening nearby, Gran should know.
Yeah.
Either about it or if there's something more nefarious going on, and this is not in fact my beloved mentor.
Yeah.
He may be the cause of it.
Yeah. Alright. I'm going to stick close to you.
Cool. As you enter the Temple of Power through the great grand white and golden doors inlaid with beautiful silvers and such, almost platinum coin shine, kind of level of haloed light. As you wander into the Grand Cathedral, the grandness of this place immediately sweeps over you as, especially to you, Shiver, the walls that travel right up to the great glass windows, stained glass, and open part to let the sunlight through. You find at this precise moment in time, all the shadows line up to a spot in the centre of the Temple of Power. To the far end, where the symbol of the sun is wreathed in beautiful stained glass, you'd imagine Elven make at least, but ancient in its construction. You see growing vines, obviously the god of sunlight, but also the god of agriculture. These beautiful plants that give it a kind of gothic, rustic feel, growing, and snowdrop flowers are blossoming within, and snaking up the walls of stone and light as these grand archways. As soon as you enter, there's this hushed reverence. You see monks, occasionally heads bowed in prayer, with white robes kind of shuffling about in the distances. You can see off to the right the grand libraries of Palor and such. And as you wander in, stepping down from the other side of the room, Grain, in his white robes, just as you remember him, face radiantly glowing as it did, and he just walks immediately straight up to you, Gorstag. He doesn't even pay too much mind to the bird and the gnome riding the wolf, and he just hugs you tightly and looks at you and says, "My son, the gift of being able to gaze upon your face once more. You've grown."
Great, I can't believe it. I saw you're dead. I saw your body.
I remember.
It's laid out. What happened?
It's the age of the reawakening. The cycle of Pelor. It's come full circle. Being gifted a few more days here. Dark times are coming. Pelor knows this. I've spoken to him about it. But we're strong. We are monks. We follow the way of the light. I'm here to guide the temple. And then I'm gone once more.
Can I insight?
Yeah, sure.
+6.
Wow. Okay. And inherently, your mind is very distrustful. You've seen resurrection spells and such. Looking to Grain, there's nothing that suggests that it's not the same person that you knew. No dark feelings, no shadows of doubt. You see Grain standing before you.
It's so glad you're back, and I'll hug him again.
Cool.
Festival.
And he hugs you.
Thank Palor.
His blessings are great this day. I need to speak with you alone, if that's okay.
Of course.
And he leads you to...
No, I would like to disagree with this.
Shiver may have some insight, actually. We have had a shared vision. Would be beneficial if they could come to.
Our party has been through many trials and faced many dangers. Currently, we are not at a time of peace. And so consequently, just out of pure safety, we would prefer not to let anyone of our number go alone.
I certainly understand this. You say he was gifted a vision as well? Then I must speak to you as well. The rest of you, as Grain leads these two up towards the back right, up the staircase to one of the libraries, you guys are left alone in the Temple of Pelor. Again, the hushed silence of this place, the reverence of a quiet temple in the middle of prayer almost, as these robed gentlemen and ladies wander around, mostly carrying books or muttering prayers to Pelor.
I'm going to squirm my way out of that.
Okay.
A little bit too holy for me.
Okay. The Kenku distrustfully kind of glances around, gets a feeling of displacement, and wanders freely out the gate. You do hear overheard a couple of hushed whispers of a bird. Such good sign of fortune. Yes, Pelor's blessings are great this day.
You saw me last time!
Yeah. The bird is a symbol of hope here in Temple Duskwood. They say the bird sign.
I'd like to check the acoustics of the.
Oh yeah.
Of the building.
Roll performance. Yeah.
We will not have your devil music in this house of the Lord.
Performance. Okay, that's a natural 20.
Oh.
25.
So
I'm glad
You're
I'm
gonna
part of
rock
it.
the house!
I'm just gonna like stand onto the
All of a
side.
sudden, the game turns into sound and music.
yeah.
Wonderful.
As the hushed silence, so dense and perfectly sanctifyingly placed upon this place, as the very echo of the wisdom of the gods in the moments of silence gifted to them suddenly broke the channels of an almighty riff, the greatest sound that you've produced from your weapon / guitar, the axe, as immediately a burst of light shrieks from your weapon across a small elderly gentleman putting books up, gets
Fuck that old
back.
man! Listen to this!
Essentially throws up pages which flitter and skitter and land on the ground, and as he turns around and looks back, he sees this half-orc, just like gauntlet raised. The acoustics in this place are perfect. The reverberation of that riff that you just played. And as the guy looks down, he goes, "Dark omen," and he points. And the pieces of paper that he's scattered, you just see a couple of them have flipped open, a couple of these pages have flipped over. And as you approach, as he points, you just see mountains, fire, death. As these 3 words on the pages. An omen of Pelor, the mountains. And he rushes out of the room. You guys, however, are taken up to a small room, a small library, essentially one of the Grand Master Monk's own personal chambers, where he would go to contemplate the great wisdoms of Pelor and the books of the religions of Elisia. He motions for you both to sit on small cushions, and with some trepidation, tries to sit himself.
Are you well, Graham?
This body is not as new as it once was. My son, Gorstag, I've been watching your deeds, and they are great and many. You've carried with you the light of Pelor this entire life. We were so gifted to have you here. The smartest of our order. Prodigy of such. Now look at you. Facing the evils of the world and winning. I sense a darkness following you.
There's been much trouble with the Druids of this area, and I will say I'm not untouched by it. I'm being honest and just showing the...
I recognize the symbol.
This so far does not seem to wield much influence over me in my actions, but it is something that always plagues the back of my head. Like
Gorstag, the one you travel with, has a connection. I saw it the minute he entered the temple. Sadly, it is a connection to the god of debt. One that you both now possess. I do believe this may have been the symbology of the chain you mentioned. The symbol that you carry is one of a contract. Something given for something in exchange. The lights and the visions, I do believe, mean that one of these deals that has been made shall be called upon to completion soon.
The god of debt.
The name in our Elvish tongue would be Ka'al. They say his purple wings span an eternity, and that he sits behind a desk with the glowing intentions of wicked fey creatures or merchants with things to sell, of barroom bets, or the lore of kings given in devotion to one or another. The god of death is one calculating, some would say cruel, being who watches over the pacts and deals of mortal men. However, that is not the reason for you arriving here in Duskin, for I have seen that as well. The cycle of the reawakening has landed on this day. You find yourselves here, the sun at its apex. This is not mere coincidence, my friends. I am here to hand over Duskin to you, Gorstag.
I'm not really this far many more brothers with more experience than I.
There have been many who have studied Pelor their lives, poured themselves over the books and tomes which I've collected over the years, but none with such a pure heart. The light of Pelor is not something you need conjure or call, for it is something that you have always carried within you. I simply ask for you to guide these people. You would not be bound to this place in any way. You would still be free to experience and explore the world. I just ask for a prayer, a pact, a seal of you to this place. It is time.
But what about you, Greg?
I feel the thread weakening once more. The rift has opened, and the light of Pelor is with us once again. I don't believe that this time it is limited to Duskin. In fact, I've heard words of the light of Pelor across Ukast and beyond. A great light is coming to this place. A wondrous world awaits.
Well, of course, if you believe I'm ready for this responsibility, then I accept that it is my duty.
What exactly does this entail? We're already heroes of the town. We are already tied to it. What more responsibility is being taken on?
It is simply a ceremony that we hold with the reciting of the great chapter of the Book of Pelor. Signifies Gorstag as a chosen, one of those who stands with light. A simple ritual, but one of great importance to our people.
You speak of it as though he will rule over and guide the city. We are adventurers. Our travels take us here and far. How is any one of us meant to guide a city and rule when we are far in distance?
And as he holds his hand, you see through the window, Twitter. Land. A word here and there is all that is needed to guide. And Twitter returns to your shoulder.
Scratch, feet.
You guys, you've just raucously awakened these monks from their morning prayers. Being gifted a rather dark omen, it seems.
I take that as a good omen, and seeing as the acoustics are so wonderful in here, I can't miss this opportunity. I'll walk around outside for a minute and say, "Hear ye, the great Orthanc will perform." And after I've got a small crowd amassed, I will cast Disguise Self.
Okay.
And I will put on my performance makeup.
Yeah.
I will then cast Minor Illusion.
Yeah.
Get a drum roll going in the background.
Sure.
And then I'm going to start playing my fucking guitar and going home.
Cool. I'm going to say that rolls on the nat 20 that you rolled before. The performance kicks up, and against their better judgment and against their very nature, you actually see some of these old wizened monks of Pelor spend their years reading books and following the way of the light, kind of rocking out.
I'm imagining this being like the ending of Footloose.
Very much so.
Are we outside?
The Kinku has gone outside.
Are we outside of the... Are we just on the outside
I'm
of
not
the
going
temple?
back in, not for that.
The acoustics are perfect. I'm
inside, okay.
I'm just inside with the crowd right outside.
Yeah.
Cast prestidigitation, little sparks here
You
and
dare
there.
sanctify the hallowed ground.
Hey man, I'm making
Zeed.
this a more holy place.
As you kind of shuffle your way outside, You notice that a whole bunch of eyes just have been on you this entire time. The people of Duskin.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as when you.
Yeah, that's what I happen. Yeah. It's alright.
They're just kind of, they're like trying not to look, but occasionally it's like, sign of Pal, sign of Pal.
Call!
You actually do see a flock of birds fly overhead, and at that point most of the people in the town square and they'll just fall into prayer, just like, oh my god.
While they're doing that, I'm going to like run into the forest.
Cool. So the forest is not far away, and as you scuttle out the gates to the old hooked over monk collecting gifts to enter and such, you actually find running out of the forest just two figures in green robes.
Yes, I was going to inquire about those.
Blood splattered across them, one of which is carrying a bow and with one arrow kind of loosely locked, and the other one just running from the forest, and they just get straight to the gates and almost push past you, but just say to the monk, attack! Attack in the forest!
How many of them went in?
5 or 6.
Right. Oh boy.
And they hurry back into the city of Duskin. As you guys sit with Grain, I've had my great tome, the original words of Pella, brought here for this ritual. He pulls out a book which is impossibly old by the looks of it. It gives off a... It's almost as if golden sand or something has been inlaid into the leather of the book, as it just gives a strange kind of shimmer, a strange kind of glow to it. As he starts poring over these pages, ancient Elvish, and looking for something you've got... Occasionally as he flips through the books, you just see these grand drawings and sketches of the great symbols of Pelor and a couple of creatures that you're not too sure what they are. And just as he gets to a page, up runs Elle, green robe, blood splattered, and she runs in. She came past you guys. And she just rushes forward and falls to her knees and falls into prayer. And Grain just, watch my child.
Elle. Oh, my
Gorstag!
right?
And she seems to forget her troubles for a second and runs up and hugs you and kisses you on the cheek as well.
Oh.
Gorstag, lovely to see you. Shit,
Is that your blood?
some of it.
I say hey in passing and thereby cast healing word on her.
Thank you, excellent. This white glow kind of just like trails across her and Grain watches intently.
She gets 7 hit points.
And she,
word. Hey.
It used to be get up!
The stress and tiredness which was on her face immediately is alleviated. Standard. We were searching forests as is our way. Beasts, men, a combination. We were attacked. She pulls back and there's just a bite mark.
What kind of bite mark?
Oh yeah.
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 Alright.
Fang bite mark.
Yeah.
Those fuckers didn't know what was coming though. Cut them down quicker than they could count. But Grain, forests are not safe. I see my child. It is often the way, when light is blocked, that the darkness grows. Sometimes the trees are too strong and too tall for their own good. I should be fine.
No, we bring the bestial people now. That's a vampire bite. You may not have long.
And she goes ghostly white as you say vampire. And she looks at you and she trusts, she knows resolutely, absolutely that you would not lie or anything in this situation. And Grain stands. I can help. And he puts his hand on her neck. And you see something you hadn't seen in a year or two leading up to Grain's death. He did not cast much magic in those last years. It's been quite some time since you saw the light of the Grand Master of the Temple of Pelor. But as he casts whatever he's casting, you can see a shining light. Now, often you've seen this in the way of spells, but this light is different. It is very much... you've seen this light described on tarot cards and on pages and on robes and signets. But to actually see what is clearly the light of Pelor itself, unfiltered before you. As Elle just kind of... her eyes just drift back. And she kind of hovers slightly, leaning back with his Grain, just has... And from Grain, the strip of Pelor's light goes right up his chest, and then it casts itself through his form, And as he releases, and you see the healed bite completely resolve, she just kind of falls, and he falls as well. They both collapse to the ground.
I go to help pick up Grain.
Okay.
I'll help pick up Al.
Excellent. Right.
Good, well done. You took the hint.
Grain can kind of just sit. Al, you actually almost cradle as you.
Very masculinely, right?
Yeah. Essentially, like she's now like kind of lying in your arm as you just kind of look down.
Oh, Gorstag.
And her eyes lock, and it's a beautiful moment.
I drew a craft some like twittering birds in the background.
She really looks into your eyes. She really looks deep into Gorstag and sees the light within. She just kind of smiles. Grain, however, you can see faltered, faded, starting to disintegrate almost. This beam of light kind of turns. My son, always walk within the light. And he passes into a beam. And as he does, outside, the sunlight just catches through his form itself, haloed in golden, beautiful, shimmering holographic light. And as the sunbeam brightly lands on simply the book that is now laying on the ground, illuminates it perfectly, you see the way it catches the light, perfectly created, the way it's haloed now in this natural glow. The beam is really, really strong. You see it travel all the way up to the sky, all the way up to the sun, and you just see the end of the beam travel back. Grain is gone. But without saying a word, the ritual is complete, and the signet, the stone that Pelor gifted you in his castle when you managed to step within Celestial Kingdoms, just glows brightly. Ooh. And a couple of monks just outside the door just kind of watch, and one by one they kind of kneel and bow their heads to Gorstag. Outside, you see snowdrops blossoming. The sounds of the guitar have silenced as this monk is now an animated conversation with a couple of others that he's rushed over. And he simply says, you can overhear him, he's just simply saying, the mountains, it's not safe, there's an attack coming. And he turns, and as you kind of follow his gaze, you just see this black dragon shadow over the city towards the mountains where the village of the giants that you guys had brought to fight in the fight of Duskin, and an emanation of dark blue fire just rockets from the sky right where you remember that camp to be, and then it flies off into the distance. What are you guys doing?
Who's got the communication stone? The one that King?
Yeah.
King. Yep.
I didn't have it. I'm not sure who did.
I think it could possibly be one of the party members who has departed.
Might have been Fate.
Fate might have had it, yeah.
Because she actually spoke with him quite a bit.
Yeah, she spoke with him quite a bit.
I speak Draconic, but I mean, I don't know.
The shadow has vanished towards the north over the mountains after the wreath of fire.
Alright.
Just grab one of the monks by the scruff of the neck.
Yes!
Is that normal?
Not exactly!
Right. Seen it before?
Once. They say the Lord, Nemesai, Dragon Rider.
So you said once before?
We saw a shadow in the night. A great one cast darkness over the Temple of Duskin. But we prayed, and the next morning we saw it no more.
How long ago?
Few nights, 3.
Which way did the dragon come from?
From the west. So it flew from, basically from over the ocean, over Duskin, over the mountains, and then towards the north, back over the ocean.
What's up there, monk?
Well, goats, bears, and last we heard, those wonderful creatures defended our town. The large ones, the giants.
Alright. I will try and find the others and inform them that a scary dragon breathes some fire and may have attacked some giants nearby if that brings anything with it.
I'd like to ask Al if there's been any word of the village that I grew up in relation to that vision that we had.
No, I haven't heard anything.
Have you, as in you've heard nothing, or you've heard nothing out of the ordinary?
Nothing for the last couple of days, a week or so.
Okay.
Zeed, you're now in the centre of maybe 50 people who have currently kneeled before you as a great symbol of hope.
It's fine, I had to deal with this last time.
Yes.
You'd probably see the dragon with them better than we did.
Yeah. In fact, you see the horrible dark shadow and the burning blue fires.
You all saw that, right? Shout towards the
crowd of
the monastery.
Maybe one or two. The rest had their heads kind of bowed, like the same gifts of the great symbol. But as they kind of look and you kind of point, they all look up. Fear, and most of them just disperse quite quickly. Riding in, however, on this glowing blue horse, you see Glommen, the gnome tinkerer.
Ah, yes.
Striding in.
The finest occupation for a gnome.
Just trying to hold on to the side of the celestial horse as it gallops into Duskin. Bird! Lovely! Wonderful! Marvellous! Your feathers! Said to a creator, rather powerful potions. Yes? No. Okay. Where is... Hello! Hello! And you guys hear the call of Glommen, the very familiar voice of the Tinkerer. Hello! Someone! I must know some of you. Just on the side. I saw you here. You saw you coming this way. What do you guys do?
Should we head out, or are you still talking with Al?
No, I think we can head out.
Okay.
And as you step into the sunlight out of the Temple of Palor, there, my friends! And he tries gracefully to get off the horse, but instead tumbles and...
I'll pick him up off the ground. Is this yours?
Not
mine.
What a strong arm you've got there.
What a bizarre one.
Glommen, it's lovely to see you. What brings you to Duskin?
Duskin! Oh, well, I heard the Rift was here once more. I came to examine.
You waved at him.
Hello.
When he was on the...
No, you did.
They wouldn't tell me why he came to Duskin.
Wonderful.
Well, he came here for you, obviously.
You setting up shop again?
Business has been good.
Yeah?
Business has been very good.
Excellent.
One or two of my creations has sparked rather interest across
Excellent.
Ogast.
Good. Have you made connection with the Zoostitute yet?
Oh my god, such wonderful alchemist labs they have there. Wonderful place. Wonderful. Yes, indeed. So, you wouldn't happen to be in the market, would you? I am selling. And he motions to the saddlebags on the celestial horse, which seems full of all kinds of swag.
Yes.
Oh, symbol of hope. Ah, wonderful.
What do you, perchance have?
Very interesting question. And he kind of motions down. You can now see that.
In fact, that was grammatically incorrect. Continue.
He's wearing a couple of quite nice necklaces, actually, and a couple of rings on his hands. Well, I've got wonderful things. I've been travelling a lot. You know, interesting people you meet when you travel from place to place. Wonderful times. Each one of them with a story. Each story with a meaning. Each meaning alluding to some grandmaster.
Yeah, that's nice, but what have you got?
Amazing. Well, you see, I've rather given up on coin. I find that it's rather untrustworthy, always fluctuating, not really a value I can place stock in. However, the arcane, now that is something that'll always remain powerful in this world. So, I trade, perhaps, for some of my items. Let me run through what I've got. He holds up a stone. Interesting, rather curious artifact. He throws it into the air and poof, it turns into this grand shield, and then woof, back into a stone. Rather useful if you might find weapons or arrows coming your way. Oh, what else have I got within here? Many things, yes. Pulls out a small vial. Yes, rather curious liquid, made from the head of a gorgon. Rather difficult to source, in fact, but lights in the darkest darknesses to the perfect bright light in which you could always see anything in front of you. Rather useful if you find yourself underground, as often as I seem to.
Don't we all have, dark vision?
Yes,
Yeah.
I do believe so, but Glommen doesn't know that.
I don't think I do, to be honest.
This itself is a rather nice necklace. I would sell it, but unfortunately I can't seem to get it off. It seems stuck. But anyway, what else do we have here?
You just put it over here.
Fair
Fair enough.
Unnaturally fused almost to my flesh. Dark times.
I
But
can
yes,
try and pull that off you if you don't mind.
sure, go ahead.
Alright. I'll try and physically rip it off him.
Roll strength.
What are you gonna do? Blast it off?
Natural 20 plus 3.
Cool.
Woo!
Unfortunately,
Straight off.
as you pull, even with a nat 20, does not budge.
It just decapitates him.
I think the old choir boy might be the best one to help you get this off.
Seems like it's cursed.
Well, see, I made the mistake trading with a fey creature.
Ah, there we go.
I think he alluded to one of the things he wasn't telling me about this artifact.
I'm sure you didn't ask.
No,
That's-
why would I?
That's their way.
Well, Loman, if you give me a few minutes, I can prepare a spell that will help you.
That sounds wonderful. And, of course, rings that I call rings of luck.
The mystery wings.
Anyway,
Turns out that we've got a few items that we might be able to sell you away as well that you may be interested in.
now we're talking.
Yes, I have some old things, some studded leather armor and some not yet arcane, but I'm sure you can rectify that.
Of course.
I have some old books, several cloaks and so on. But I do have a magic longsword here which does a little bit of fire damage. None of the parties for us know uses longswords, so it could be interesting for you.
That is beautiful. That is certainly something I must have in my collection.
I believe we also still have an old demon heart, violet infernal blood. I've got a water skin with some giant spider poison. You might like that. And there is a little box with some fire snake ash.
Ooh, you guys have been on quite the adventure, haven't you? How marvellous is that? Well, what would you like? I've still got much to show you.
I'm in the market for a magical shield.
Magical shield. What about the stone? He throws it poof, into a shield and poof, back into a stone.
Does it give the same benefits as a shield? Does it work as a shield?
Ah, well, this thing is quite interesting. Should someone fire an arrow or a blast, its damage should be reduced by around about half. That's right.
No, I'm looking for an actual magical shield.
The actual magical shield. I do have one or two that I was keeping for myself in case of bandits, but I'm sure I can figure something for such a wonderful customer. And he pulls from his back, essentially behind the cloak, like a turtle shell that he's been wearing. Swings it around this quite nice golden shield with a stone lion engraved on it. This might be something.
Ooh, yes. I bring out my wooden shield and go, this is what I'm getting rid of. Not sure if you're interested.
No, I need something sparkling with the light of the arcanes, which should travel and trade.
Well, here's the sword.
Thank you.
Excellent. What have we got?
So, resistance to radiant damage
Okay.
and resistance to fire damage.
Oh, wait, is it metal?
Yes.
Nah, no.
Ah, use it.
Druid.
What a shame.
I need wooden. Well, at the very least, not metal.
I would seek out the druids within the 8th circle.
The 8th circle.
Ha! News to you, it seems.
No. Well, news that they might actually be talkative. They were the ones who were the betrayers.
Well, knowledge that I'm sure you might be akin to. The 8th circle has once again wreathed itself and stepped out of the shadows. In fact, we have a name now. Silver, the leader of such.
Still called the 8th circle?
Sorry, did you say we have a name? As in you're one of them?
No.
We as in us, the
We know.
populace.
I see.
Shiver.
Led by Silver. So how do you spell Silver?
When you were recently within Fire's silence, you had witnessed Silver.
Yeah.
You had seen Ark, your leader, who had accused, in fact, outright declared that Silver has been killing, stealing, and screwing over. Basically, the 8th Circle have stepped out of the shadows. They are back in full force, led by Silver. Silver is a thief, essentially stole a very powerful book from Queen Asalia of Blacksteel. Ark himself had taken a vote. Fire's silence set a trial. You were here for this. And Silver had been cast guilty, crimes against the Druids, unforgivable level, and had been banished, in fact. Ark himself had cast the spell. There was a counter spell, there was a battle. Silver has been banished. Glommen does not know this, but you know this.
Okay. Alright. Yeah.
They themselves are quite good at making things, especially out of wood.
Right. You have had dealings with them?
I met them in my travels a few weeks ago down south.
And they seem trustworthy?
Well, it's very difficult to say. A lot of people trade and such for their own means and gains, but they seem willing to
Yeah,
give items
they
and such.
trade for their own means and gains.
As most people want to do, no?
Well, most people do it with an air of equivalence. This is a group that is not to be trusted and looks only for power.
Well, then I'm rather glad I got and escaped that place with my life. In retrospect, that might have been a silly idea. Why is your hand glowing?
It's
And
the first time I've seen that.
the symbol now wreathed in purple. The symbol itself is essentially a stick, 5 sticks, attached to 5 more sticks facing down. So 5 sticks up, 5 sticks down.
Okay. This I have not seen before. No pain, no other sensations, just glowing.
Nope, but as you look at it and then look back up, that purple sepia tone has sunk once more into the world around you. Are you okay if I can need a glass of water?
Yeah,
And
that
he
might
kind
be a
of-
good idea.
He brings out this empty jug, and he pours it, and water just from nowhere starts coming out of it.
Oh my god.
That I want.
I saw it first. Can I do that? Ale. Can you do that with ale?
Like this. And a beautiful dark mead pours from
Oh.
the jug.
I will sell you this kingdom for that jug.
It's a rather curious artifact, found in itself from a small island off the west coast. The Talon Isles. Lovely place.
I mean, we could go there and get our own.
Ooh.
I don't think it's a very friendly place there.
Didn't we just go and come back from the Talon Isles?
Yeah.
Oh, then where's your one?
Don't think we got to that point of the Talon Isles.
We had to kill an undead dragon and things got in the way. Anyway, tell you what, I have an exploding box. I can trade you that.
Which is exploding. Will I be blasted to smithereens?
Only if you open it.
Oh, interesting.
But if you trick someone else into opening it, they will blow into smithereens. Or if you're defending against perhaps a robber, you have a lot of expensive goods, and you keep this in an obvious place, someone wants to look inside, see what's in there.
Very, very apt and clever indeed. He throws the jug to you,
Alright, I'll throw him the 5 box.
and he catches it. He goes, I wonder what's... Oh wait, yes, I'll look in that.
Be very careful.
Cool.
Can I see if I recognize the mark?
Yeah, sure, roll history.
That's 16.
Cool. Yeah, the symbol itself is one of the Tree of Life. The great hand of the mortal plane and the opposing hand of the Night Elves.
Okay. I'll mention it
Mm-hmm.
in passing to you.
So, life and hell,
Yeah.
up
Yeah.
and down.
Yeah.
Considering druids and demons, that's
Someone's taken
appropriate.
an interest into you.
Yes, we'll see how much of an interest.
And I'll see. What wares do you have?
Plenty of things. I've been traveling quite some time, my friend.
I'm quite keen to fire. Either enlarging it or snuffing it. Do you have anything that could help me?
I think I can't help you with that. Oh. Ha. Huh.
I have a suspicion at what this jug might be. Can I try something?
Sure.
This might help you, son. Oil.
Can you roll Arcana for me?
Yep.
Try with acid.
That's a...
Acid's a liquid.
Modified 10 total.
Cool. At this time, being new to the jug itself, not quite attuned to its properties.
Yeah.
Go for a gadget.
Oil!
Toothpaste
And it's
comes
just
out.
like a
Yeah.
single drop.
I can have this! He pulls out some tongs and goes to one of the saddles and pulls out a dagger. It's almost like the blade is almost like fire. He just puts it. Now don't touch it with your hands. And he holds up a hand and you see like this burn marks
Yeah.
and stuff.
Touch it.
Pay you 5 gold to touch it with your hands.
I'll take that bet.
Okay.
I'm gonna grab it.
Alright, hang on.
I'll
That's 7 points of fire damage as
I was about to say I can ignite anything with my hand. Can I ignite as I touch
It's
it.
already on fire.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. You can
It
have
burns
5 gold.
brightly in your hand, and Glomman kind of lets out a squeal. It is, however, something that you can channel fire with in attacks and melee combat.
Oh, on melee.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll just drop it and be like, oh, I'd rather not touch that
And he
one.
picks it back up with tongs and puts it away. Well, my friends, if there's the...
I'll
Sorry, it's just... smoke from the mountains.
Oh, it's just a dragon, don't worry.
Yeah.
Oh well. Hey,
As long as you're not there.
well, I find myself wanting to travel more. I hear there's a ship going to the east, way off into the highlands.
Away from the dragon, huh?
Well, perhaps. Is there
Robin.
anything else you'd like?
Yes, Mr. Blobble, can you enchant weapons?
Certainly. It's a difficult practice, but one I've been training myself in for the last 50 years.
You're a valuable friend to have around.
Absolutely.
Could you do something with this? And I visit my axe.
Ooh, interesting. Instrument. Yes, in fact. He reaches and pulls out a small vial of blue liquid. Apply to the strings. This will allow a sound. Great sound. Audible to 300 feet, should you need it. Throws it in the air. But of course, I don't give these things away for free. He drops it from one hand to the other, and somehow drops it from his one hand back up to the top. I would need something in trade.
And not gold coin. Okay. How about this? I'll bring out the healing word amulet that was taken from the Ogre King
Yeah.
in the mountain.
Yeah.
You
Now
can use
that
this
would
to
be
heal.
useful indeed. And he throws you the vial of oil.
Catch.
Ah, thank you. He puts it on his neck over the other amulet. Well, my friends, the call of the wild awaits. Wonderful places and people to find, wonderful items to sell, a beautiful land beyond the shores of Ukast. Oh, the wondrousness that awaits. I can scarcely contain my excitement to begin. Good day. And he rides off, out of Duskin, into the forest.
Well, I'm gonna head over to some of the other stores and try and get rid of all the random junk that I'm carrying.
I'm just gonna rearrange my mobile to get that back.
I wasn't kidding about the dragon. There was actually a dragon while you were in there. It did.
Right.
I thought there was
Okay.
a your
Yeah.
human.
No, there was a big.
No,
big
there was a
fucking
dragon.
Yeah.
Alright,
Enough to
where?
block out the sky.
Up in the mountains.
Yeah.
Large enough.
Apparently
Alright.
there's some giants up there.
Yeah, I saw it. Didn't know if you guys saw it.
You can now see smoke pluming from the mountain.
Should we?
Like,
Go
yeah,
deal
we
with
should
that?
probably,
Dragon, there was,
like-
blue fire.
Yeah, where's King? The half giant, the
Orthanc.
Goliath.
Orthanc.
Oh, yeah,
Not-
yeah.
not-
Well, I presume he would have been there.
Alright, we need to get in contact with him, make sure
Yeah.
that he and his people are okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Alright. But first of all, I'm gonna go sell some junk.
Cool.
So, I've got a shit ton of junk.
Gorstag, you notice that the snowdrop flowers that are blooming here actually give quite a nice little adornment to the Temple of Pelor. As you kind of walk past, you can just see the window through which the room that you're in with Braeden is just kind of like shimmering greatly. The reflection of the sun against that is bright indeed. Actually, being here at this time and having this energy kind of sink into you, you will get +2 to damage rolls until I tell you otherwise. Yes.
I'd like to attune to the jug.
Sure. Long rest.
Long rest.
You mentioned that the city's kind of become a bit more militarized.
Yes.
Would there be any stores that sell like enchanted like holy weapons or anything?
So there's not many stores that sell them. There are certain monks that are trying to do such things within the temple. Essentially, the military presence is not like they haven't got like soldiers. They've turned some of the monks and trained them in the ways of combat.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
We're gonna camp around here for a while. I really want to get to use this, you know.
Yeah.
Because if we're gonna be around here for a while,
I feel like the burning village.
We might have
giants.
to go deal with the dragon.
Priority. I appreciate your desire to have limitless ale.
Throman would have wanted it.
Throman would have. I agree, but Throman was not always of the most sound tactical mind.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, my vote is that we go in that direction as soon as everybody is ready.
I agree.
How far away?
Alright.
How far away is it?
From Darkening, not that far. The only problem, like the mountains themselves aren't that far. It's just climbing up them is difficult.
So we wouldn't. Okay.
Cool. I'll scout ahead.
Cool.
I can fly.
Yeah, your newest party member does in fact have the gift of flight.
Is the village that the vision of? Is that in that same sort of direction, or? Is
Well, it's so Darkening's here. Mountains are there. The village is further down this way.
Okay.
Yeah. But you are in a place where they have lots of carrier pigeons and such. If you want to send a message.
Yeah, I would like to do
Awesome. Okay. So before Gorstag leaves, he rushes up to one of the monks. In fact, one of the youngest apprentices, who last time you saw him, he was a toddler. Now he's like just 5, 6 kind of thing. And you can see that he's got a book, like a pop-up book of Pelor. It's just like sun and such. And he's kind of reading that. And he just looks up. He's got a whole bunch of caged pigeons behind him. He's some inexplicable reason being put in charge of that kind of thing.
Hello, my son. I need to send a message to. I don't know the name of the village.
Red Rum.
Red Rum. I need to send a message to Red Rum Village. Are you able to get one of your birds to carry it for me, please, my child?
Of course, of course. And he turns around. He goes, now, this one's called Twitch. And that one's called YouTube. And he goes, but this is my favourite. And he opens up a what? He opens up a small one. And there's a little timid pigeon.
It's hard enough for Twitter.
a little bird like jumps into his hand and he holds it out. This one is my favourite. He's really fast.
Excellent choice, then. And I'll just write a quick message, just basically asking for news.
Cool.
And I'll attach it to the leg of the bird.
Now, it's at this point you realise why this kid is in charge of this. As he starts speaking to the bird, you just hear him speaking in another language. Essentially, he's got, somehow, through the gift of Pelor, quite a high level enchantment of speak with animals. In fact, he kind of just gazes into his eyes and the bird just watches him transfixed. He just tells everything that the bird needs to know, where to go, what to look for, and how to come back. And he hopes that he has a good adventure and such, and he throws him out the window kind of thing, and takes off. And this other monk who's been standing behind you just simply says, "The light within a child, a wondrous thing. They see unhilted, unguarded the true gift of Pelor. This one," he kind of laughs, "is greatly blessed with Pelor's light indeed. An affinity with the animals. Wonderful." And he just goes back to like talking to some of the birds in the other cages. But yes, you've sent a message towards Red Rum Village.
Excellent.
Which is one of the largest farming villages in this area. Cool. So what do the rest of you guys do?
I'm gonna go. Oh, what's the character's name? What's
Shiver.
the character's name?
Shiver.
Shiver. Oh, that's right. I'm gonna go with Shiver and try to pick up a walking stick or something or other. Some kind
Sure.
of, yeah.
Yeah, you
Some
can
kind of staff.
Yeah. Marketplace is a bit of a grandiose term for the 3 guys that are selling stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
But one of them is stuff that he's crafted from the forest nearby, Flatland Forest.
Cool.
In fact, he's got a rather nice, it looks almost like the branch of a birch tree, but grown perfectly, no kinks or anything, and it just comes up with like a, little...
Cool. Yeah. You know, we'll pay. How much is this?
Ruffy, true question. No one's ever bought anything of mine before, you see.
We'll have to change that, won't we?
What do you think would be fair?
Oh,
20.
20 what?
Gold.
Oh, okay. Oh.
How much is it?
5 gold! Fuck the old man!
No,
For such craftsmanship, you know what? 10 gold pieces.
Sold!
Yeah,
Sold
okay.
indeed, sold
I'll
indeed.
pass it along.
They're even real coins. Marvellous. The blessing of Pelor be on you, son.
Thank you.
Alright, I go up to one of the other ones who actually has some idea about business.
Aha, gnomish, rather interesting creatures. Welcome.
Thank you. So I've got a few things here. I've got like this. I pull out a Moonskull cloak. I pull out a 2-sided cloak, which is white on one side, purple and black on the other.
Yep.
I've got my old sickle. I've got a scimitar. No, I'm keeping the sickle. I've got the old scimitar. I've got a set of studded leather armor. There's a whole bunch of knife weapons that we never actually got rid of.
Yeah.
So those would be magical.
Cool.
I've got a bottle of poison.
You got that knife in your boot?
Not yet, but give me time.
Yeah.
You're how are you carrying?
There's a bunch of books that I've got. There's a small brass snake statue.
Yeah.
And there's that magic longsword. So there's a bunch of stuff.
The statue. Where did you find it?
This I have had for a long time. I actually cannot remember how I got it. This is one of the close things I got.
And what are you after?
To sell.
Yes, what do you want in return?
Money.
Oh, gold. Fantastic, I'll take the statue. 100 gold pieces.
Tell me about the statue.
Well, it's just a rather ornate piece. I'd like it for my collection.
Tell me about the statue.
Well, you see, it's obviously some kind of gift.
Insight.
Am I with him?
Guidance.
Am I with him?
Yeah, roll insight.
Yeah.
Do you want to roll that insight? Or?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What's your bonus?
Human, what's your
Plus
bonus?
a d4.
Yeah, for
He'll
insight on
roll
the character,
for
I guess
insight on
I'll roll
characters.
insight, so that way you don't.
Okay. My
It's like, he's lying!
I have proficiency in insight, so
Okay.
that's +2, and then proficiency bonus +3.
Sweet. Alright. You yourself have no idea. Even with that, with the net one, you have no idea.
Okay.
I feel free to tell you that.
Are we
Yeah.
there with him?
Yes.
I'm gonna fly up in the air and see how far away the village is.
Cool. Yeah, as you kind of as Dustin kind of drifts lazily below you and you get up to a certain vantage point, you can see that this burst of fire that it hit was specifically targeted for a small Goliath/giant village. There's one Goliath making his way out, and a lot of charred corpses of giants around.
Is the dragon still there?
No, the dragon has seemingly just dipping behind the horizon at this point from where you can see.
Alright, I'm gonna let you guys know. I'm going ahead. I'm just gonna go check out the village.
Sure.
Make sure it's alright.
So
It's
as
like all the way over there.
so as the Kinku flies, it's not that far to get there.
There's a king of
so you get there almost immediately, as this one Goliath, tattooed, battle worn, is kind of dragging a giant corpse behind him. Tears coming down his face. He looks up and sees you. Symbol of hope in these times.
Yes, I believe I am. What can I do to help?
Not much left.
Is there anything left?
He turns back. Revenge. That's what I want.
Sole survivor?
It seems so.
Well, I know how you feel.
And he continues crying. Alright, so as for you, very difficult to get a gleam on this guy.
Oh yeah, I wanted to stand behind Shiver and just kind of be a looming presence and go, tell them I know again.
And so, what's the word? Intimidation.
Excellent, my favourite.
Good old half-orc intimidation. It's the best kind.
That's a 15 plus 8, 23.
Oh.
Nice.
15 itself would not have done it, but the plus 8 modifier.
Jesus Christ.
Or good at two things. One of them is being scary.
Charismatic and strong.
He waves his hand. The statue itself goes from being a kind of brass to a greeny earthy tone, and the snake just starts slithering out of it and comes around and goes back and turns into a small bronze statue.
Fluffy! Yay! Okay. So what is the story about this?
Roll history. Oh no, he's just going to tell you.
Is this just one of the statues that summon creatures, or is there actually a...
There's a story.
Okay, yeah.
So essentially, there was he tells you this. I'll do it in his voice. Look, one of these is an artifact of the great kind. I see in yourself a rather affinity with nature, Druid. Am I right? Well, there was a certain sect many thousands of years ago who had wandered into the darkness to find the light, but ended up straying a bit too close, if you know what I mean. They
There have
vanished.
been plenty of that recently.
They had vanished, legend says, to a land in the east. A fabled place where they had constructed powerful artifacts and such. The Shadowlands. A hub of trade. Now exists only as the makers of the finest weapons and the most beautiful enchantments. This, I do believe, statue of the original Shadowland warriors. 150 gold.
That's a fucking snake.
You talking to him or are you talking to the statue?
I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
That's way cooler than money.
That is way cooler than money. Okay, so this is not just a small bronze statue, this is a magical item. Alright.
Forged by the Shadowkind, thus very difficult to have discovered up until now.
Right. Okay. No, from just seeing what he's done and gotten the snake to change and so on and so forth, can I...
Roll Arcana.
Buy it back.
I haven't sold it yet. That is a 12.
You follow the exact hand movements that he did. And he smiled.
And does it work?
No.
Alright. How about I pay you 20 gold and you teach me how to use it?
Well, that's the interesting thing. If the statue does not believe you're akin to a snake, it does not work. I myself, and he waves his hand, and it moves and slithers and comes back and stops.
Not akin to a snake.
No, I want to insight check that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bonus.
+2.
He's given the straight amount. In fact, it's kind of a trust enchantment. If a statue believes that you possess the spirit of a snake in some way, then it'll work. He himself is a trader who uses words and slyness to outwit his customers into handing over items.
Okay. I want to try doing this.
He therefore is
Sure.
lying.
Roll Arcana.
I've got the silver tongue.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be a whopping +0. That's a 9.
See Orthanc's hand. Not malicious in nature, or certainly not too manipulative. The statue does not respond.
Can I do the same?
Sure.
Malicious.
Just roll together on the statue. That's a modified 19.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't know enough about your character.
Yeah.
I haven't seen you enough. Essentially, he says, "The craftsmanship, the Shadowkin, marvelous,
Mm-hmm.
wondrous."
And it's just a snake, or does it possess any ability, or...
Well, the venom of such a snake, I do believe it to be a dark green king snake. Their bite is rather vicious.
Okay, excellent. Thank you for your information. And I
500 gold.
pay him the 20 gold I said he would for the information.
And he darts his hand quickly and takes it.
Mm-hmm.
And he actually, as he grabs the gold and puts it in his hand, he goes to put it away and it's just not there. He sneaks it away somewhere.
Yeah, paid him for his information.
Yeah.
As for the rest of the stuff that I am inexplicably carrying,
Yes.
how much?
Well, it's a grand splattering of offerings. I would say 50 gold. Very well. I see you're not one to be fooled or wool eyes or anything. 200 gold. Full.
I am offering you multiple magical items here. We're looking at thousands. You know that, I know that.
As he looks at you, you see the flash of a man reading his opponent, trying to set the DC in his mind of how much to offer you for this. And as he does, his eyes just go a bit purplish, and then the energy around him shifts, and there's this purple sepia tone. And you can tell he's talking, but the words are muffled, and you can't really...
As I'm doing this, I try and reach out, and who's standing next to me? Yeah. So I
As
hold
you
on to
reach
his
out
arm.
to Orthanc, your hand passes right through him as he turns into this purple shadow in the gold. And from behind his back, just these two wings spread, these purple wings. And as the last kind of bits of this illusion seem to drift, and the real world Duskin seems just scattering further and further away from you, you find yourself in this place that's slowly setting itself in your mind of a great grand desk with these glowing mounds of dust upon it, and 1,000, maybe more, scrolls of paper with ancient language written upon, and this face just all blue with these purple dots like right around the eyes, and two purple horns drawn on, not real, and dark hair across. There's this creature, and it just leans forward, long spindly fingers and arms, wings extended behind, and your hand just glows with this bright light that almost touches the roof of this place. As you look around, you see a whole bunch of small but shadowy creatures that are carrying little parts of trinkets and golds and such. You can see lives being traded behind you. You can see weapons and artifacts. You can see stories, and you can see kings meeting places, and a lot of handshakes that just kind of echo around this place. And this creature just steps forward. Welcome. As you look around, the place slowly solidifies.
Putting two and two together.
Yeah.
And saying, "Oh fuck."
You find yourself.
By what name can I call you?
Ka'ar is my name. You find yourself in possession of a debt that must be repaid. One has gifted you the mark of payment awaiting. I offer you a choice. Simple. But upon your answer, we consider it paid. The one you dealt with, who has sealed, for now, your fate, gave one other the ability to meet with me here and offer what he has. I find your mind vast as a forest. So much space. I simply wish to put something within that space. The other choice is that this one.
And behind him is this like little window, like a portrait frame. And through it you see a druid, a young druid, wearing little mantles that's been made from a baby antler or something, with flowers around and such. You notice it to be a druid grove.
This one.
And as he points, the kind of portrait frame just opens up. You can see clearly.
Child has open mind as well. I either take stock within here,
And he taps your forehead and there's a searing pain.
or within here.
And the child through the thing is just talking to this other elderly druid. You can't hear what's saying.
I incur a debt, you say, yet I have received no payment, no service. What debt do I owe?
The ones you met
He holds up his hand. You can see he's got the same symbol.
Yeah.
gave you your life. They let you walk free. But not without it being sealed in the fates.
As he points up, you can see this.
This
swirling
was a
vortex
symbol
smoke.
of trust. This was a symbol of camaraderie between druids.
The darkness makes the pact with the light. You live, therefore you owe.
And as you look around, the place has slowly been solidifying from a smoky kind of haze to quite a well-set room. Above, there's a swirling vortex of smoke, and through it you see just glimpses of people. You see bar bets of people saying, oh, I'll give you 50 gold if you can do this. And that.
Okay. The small druid child. Do I recognize them? Do I know that they're real? It's just a random child.
So roll insight, please.
That is 22.
Cool. So looking through, you do recognise the forest to be the ocean's forest. One you've heard, you can tell by the blue leaves. One you've heard to be from the east coast of the cast. The child himself looks fairly solid and not like an illusion at all. Essentially, this child has a greatly receptive mind, and there is space for a demon within. This guy essentially wants to take a small voice and put it within a child.
And what is your goal?
That.
You ask for very small things, but small things that have great influence.
As he holds up his hands, you see maybe 30 rings adorning his hand, and small like bracelets and necklaces hanging off each.
That is the greatest energy in the world. It binds the mortal to the earth, forever owing. I simply wish.
And he touches the portrait, and there's like this shimmer of like water.
To step within that realm once more. The greatest end, as you cling to this place.
So all you wish is to be part of the mortal world again.
Just to step out
And he taps the portrait again.
for a little while. Either you carry me, or he carries me.
If this is a debt that I cannot avoid, having not actually incurred it with you directly in the first place, why do I get a choice?
I simply facilitate the deal.
So with whom am I actually dealing?
And you feel a hand on your shoulder. And you see the druid that you're talked with in the forest. His dark circles under his eyes once more, his face sunken. You can see the demonic influence that had taken him had not been dispelled quite as far. In fact, you can see it at back as his eyes dark red, the look of a man who hasn't slept in weeks, and he kind of just addedly rattled.
This one. Rather beautiful. I offer a choice, because I feel all men must choose.
That is not a choice. You asked me to destroy someone else's future or destroy my own.
You could see it like that. What is your answer?
He keeps tapping the portrait.
I sit down.
You wish to stay here?
You wish to enter the mortal realm?
Just once.
Just once.
You see, here, I am a machine. But through there, all the promises of mortal men. So much I could do.
I'm gonna get out the stone of teleportation. Use it.
Okay, awesome. As you pull the stone of teleportation, you see him stand, and through the portrait, that druid, that female druid that you had met in the forest, the one that had given you the stone of teleportation, steps out from the trees behind the kid and just kind of smiles and waves her hand. And as this guy snatches at you, you appear right back to these guys on your knees.
My friend, are you okay?
The snake-like creature asks you.
Who are you? What
A
dealings
traitor.
have you with the demon kind?
Shit. And he goes and starts to cast a spell to get the hell out of there.
I'm gonna grab him.
Yeah.
Hello, Puppet. What's your name?
That's where we're going to leave tonight's session. Thank you guys for coming along. That was good fun. The correct moment for the stone of teleportation. Oh, yay. Awesome. Thank you. Is it Lindaran?
Yeah.
Lindaran has decided to host our channel, which means that our channel will be playing through their channel. Thank you so much. That is so awesome. That really helps us out. Oh, you guys are so sweet out there in the cybersphere. And a new follower, Robert Paulson. Can we just all... His name is Robert Paulson. His name is Robert Paulson. All right. That's the greatest movie. Fantastic. Well, thanks to our new follower and thanks for our new host. Thanks to the regulars, Leonard and such, who came with us on this journey. Thank you, Indoor, for the donation. That was so sweet. That really made my night. You guys are wonderful. We will be back same time next week to discover the dealings and such of demons and men as they unveil themselves here in Ucast in the world of Elisia. Honestly, you guys, just thanks for coming along. This was really fun. Being out of Wellington, New Zealand, Nerds of Power, myself, Oliver Ninja Master, and my lovely players, the Black Winter Knights. We'll see you next week. Good night.